Chapter 1047. Gigantic Destruction Rod's Spell. What a strong sword chi, thought Lin Feng looking at the cultivator who had just arrived. Even without releasing any chi, people could clearly sense his sword intent as if that guy was a sword himself. Lin Feng, that guy is an incredible sword cultivator. He's the descendant of Emperor Wu Tianjian. His name is Jian Wu Bei. When I told you there's someone in here who's extremely strong, and much stronger than Shen Yuan, I was talking about him, said Yuan Fei. Some people were surprised when they heard that. Some others, who already knew him, weren't. Emperor Wu Tianjian's descendant. Everybody knew about him in Ba Huang province back when. Then, he had disappeared from Ba Huang province. Some people said that he was dead. However, many others were convinced that he had gone elsewhere in order to become even stronger. Emperor Wu Tianjian, thought Lin Feng. In the Jade Emperor's palace, he had seen Emperor Wu Tianjian's statue in the room with the statues of emperors the Jade Emperor admired. No wonder Jian Wu Bei smelt like a sword from so far away. Qiu Yu Xian's eyes twinkled. She was also surprised. Surprisingly, Jian Wu Bei was there. Besides, the guy with Lin Feng had said Jian Wu Bei's name very loudly without being scared. He was probably very strong as well. How had Lin Feng made friends with an incredible and amazing cultivator of the 7th Tianqi layer in the Huangxi underground? Jian Wu Bei walked up to the entrance of the cave. His eyes were twinkling. He had 3 swords on his back. He unsheathed one of them. It seemed like he could destroy everything only by unsheathing that one sword. Sword lights streaked across the sky and a trail appeared behind him. It crashed into the cave and the desolate chi became even thicker and richer, to the extent that many people had to move back. Boom, boom, boom. The desolate chi was becoming even more intense. Jian Wu Bei released more sword energies and a myriad of stones turned into ashes. Jian Wu Bei also wanted to find treasures. Kaboom! A sound spread in the air as another piece of stone exploded and a black, solid body appeared which wouldn't break. The crowd looked at it. There really were treasures there. If anything was buried that deep in its soil, it meant it had been there for at least thousands of years. The desolate chi of the Huangxi could destroy anything, so if anything wasn't destroyed by that chi, it meant it was something good. Bzz. Jian Wu Bei grabbed the black thing and suddenly, a wooden stick fell down from the sky, crushing everything on its way down. How dare you take my things? Shouted Yuan Fei furiously. Lin Feng and he had found that cave. He didn't want other people to steal their treasures, including Jian Wu Bei. The black item flew away. Yuan Fei jumped up towards it with incredible reflexes. Umph! Jian Wu Bei groaned coldly. Dazzling sword lights streaked across the sky again as the was cut apart. People were even injured by the energies and were thrown away, bleeding. Die! Shouted Jian Wu Bei furiously. He released energies on Yuan Fei's path, trying to stop him. People started moving towards the item. Since Yuan Fei and Jian Wu Bei were fighting, they maybe had time to steal the item. Try if you dare! Shouted Yuan Fei furiously. The atmosphere became distorted as sound waves rolled all around. Some people were immediately thrown away. Blood splashed everywhere. Even those who weren't injured were still propelled far away. Some other people stopped. They didn't dare get any closer. Fuck off! All of you! Shouted Yuan Fei furiously. He used his mountain stick and Amdi mountains appear everywhere in the sky. Then, those mountains fell down on top of them. Boom, boom, boom. Many people were directly crushed to death by those mountains. Those who were still alive were scared that they would die. Gigantic Destruction Rod Spell. Is Yuan Fei, thought Qiu Yu Xian. In Ba Huang, there was only one person who used an ordinary-looking black wooden stick, and it was Yuan Fei. His Gigantic Destruction Rod spell contained an infinite amount of strength. It was an incredible skill with an explosive power. Lin Feng was gasping with amazement. Yuan Fei was famous, even Qiu Yu Xian knew him. Many people didn't dare get any closer. They could die if they got caught in the crossfire. Lin Feng, take it, shouted Yuan Fei. Lin Feng nodded and ran towards the item. Try if you dare. Sword energies moved towards Lin Feng, but Yuan Fei blocked them. Nobody dared fight against Lin Feng since he was with Yuan Fei. Lin Feng had no problem taking it. That item wasn't big, but when Lin Feng took it, he was suddenly weighed down by millions of kilos. It's a black meteorite and it is extremely solid. It can be used to make incredible holy weapons. Only strong cultivators can make use of it. It can also contain incredible spells, said Jian Wu Bei when he saw Lin Feng struggling with it. He then said coldly, "I'll take care of Yuan Fei, you guys take the meteorite." Then, Jian Wu Bei unsheathed all his swords and the atmosphere started whistling. Sword shadows appeared everywhere. Merciless whistling sword. The crowd was surprised by how angry Jian Wu Bei had become. He was using an incredible skill. Yuan Fei and Jian Wu Bei both disappeared in the middle of all those sword lights. Lin Feng noticed people were looking at him coldly, and he felt very, very cold. // Lin Feng sensed the cold energies were nearing. Bzz. He took out his talisman and rose up in the air. A sword light also crashed where he was just a second before. Lin Feng glanced around and saw shadows. Those hunters of darkness were after him again. Let's go. Lin Feng dragged Chiu Yu Xian with him. They all started chasing Lin Feng, but they couldn't catch up with him when he used his talismans. Lin Feng wasn't worried about Yuan Fei. His grandfather was an emperor and he was extremely strong. Who would dare do anything to him? Lin Feng, we've been here for such a short time and you already friend Yuan Fei, said Chiu Yu Xian. Her beautiful eyes were twinkling. She was curious. He's awesome and easy to make friends with. We fought and then we became friends, said Lin Feng smiling. He then asked, by the way, Yu Xian, his grandfather is an incredible cultivator, an emperor actually, where is he from? He's not an emperor Percy, said Chiu Yu Xian shaking her head. Lin Feng was surprised and whispered, did he lie to me? Not really, his grandfather is the Great Ape Emperor. Great Ape Emperor? Lin Feng asked, a bestial emperor? Chiu Yu Xian nodded. Lin Feng gasped with amazement. He was the grandson of a bestial emperor. Chapter 1048. Furious Battle. Lin Feng had heard about lots of human emperors, but it was the first time he heard about a bestial emperor. He hadn't thought he'd ever be friends with a bestial emperor's grandson. The Great Ape Emperor is extremely strong and his power is very explosive. He can easily break a mountain chain by simply kicking it. His voice can destroy mountains and lakes. Even though they don't seem that smart as a family, they actually understand cultivation very well. Their gigantic destruction rod spell is extremely complex. It uses the explosive power of 81 wooden sticks. You can imagine how strong they are individually, explained Chiu Yu Xian slowly. She even looked scared. Nobody dared offend them in Ba Huang province. Even though they were relatively new emperors, they were not any weaker than most emperors. Besides, the Great Ape Emperor has only one grandson, so he cherishes him greatly. Back then, the Zun cultivator of a very rich family in Ba Huang province bullied Yuan Fei. The result was, in one night, that rich family was wiped off the map of Ba Huang province. Since then, everybody knows about Yuan Fei and nobody dares bully him. Chiu Yu Xian continued her explanation. Lin Feng smiled. He was happy to be friends with him. If the Great Ape Emperor liked Lin Feng, then Lin Feng would be able to easily marry Chiu Yu Xian. The elders of the Chiu clan wouldn't act disrespectful with Lin Feng anymore. It's no wonder he can sense my blood strength, whispered Lin Feng. Yuan Fei was an animal, the grandson of an animal emperor, so he could sense other animal energies. It seemed normal that Yuan Fei had sensed Lin Feng's dragon blood. Blood strength. Chiu Yu Xian looked at Lin Feng and asked, you also have a strong bloodline? Guess, said Lin Feng smiling. Chiu Yu Xian was surprised and smiled. She was intrigued. She had guessed that Lin Feng had managed to climb up the 9 groups of steps because he had a powerful blood strength. Also, at the same level as Xian Yuan, Lin Feng held the advantage. Tell me, said Chiu Yu Xian smiling. Why would you need to know? Said Lin Feng with a smile yet not a smile. Chiu Yu Xian really wanted to know. Lin Feng caressed her cheek. So, said Chiu Yu Xian annoyed. What? Said Lin Feng shrugging. You bastard. She released ice-cold energies. Seal. Lin Feng released a powerful sealing strength. Qiu Yuxian could barely move under that strength. Qiu Yuxian's eyes were wide open. "Stop attacking and I'll let you off." "Dream on," said Qiu Yuxian, grinding her teeth. "It's such a beautiful night, we should enjoy ourselves instead of fighting, if you see what I mean," said Lin Feng with an evil smile. Qiu Yuxian frowned. "You're annoying." Qiu Yuxian was almost crying. "How shameless." "All right, I'll tell you." Lin Feng smiled and said, "You're right." Then he let her off. Qiu Yuxian smiled in a resplendent way and said, "Next time you want to have some fun with me at night, you should say it in a more romantic way." Lin Feng suddenly felt very cold. "What's that meteorite?" said Lin Feng, changing the topic. That meteorite was extremely heavy and Lin Feng's muscles felt sore from carrying it. "Look." Lin Feng passed the stone to Qiu Yuxian. She took it and her facial expression suddenly changed. "How heavy?" "It was as heavy as a small mountain." "Look and see if you can find anything out of the ordinary," said Lin Feng. He released pure qi into the stone, but it just remained black. It probably had been in the soil for a very long time, so it was polished now. "Nothing," said Qiu Yuxian. That stone was beautiful, polished, but there were no marks or anything of interest. Nothing had been sealed inside either. "Even though it's very precious, we can't do anything with it. People like Yuan Fei or Jian Wubei might be able to use it. Otherwise, they wouldn't have fought for it," whispered Lin Feng. He would give it to Yuan Fei later. He was convinced Yuan Fei would know how to find him somehow. "That meteorite is very hard and quite dense. We can't break it no matter how we tried. Yuan Fei or Jian Wubei could ask the elders of their family to fabricate weapons for them. They could also maybe break it to see if there was anything inside. Not just anyone can benefit from having such items," said Qiu Yuxian. That meteorite was useless to them except if they traded it, but trading it wouldn't be easy either. They weren't strong enough. Maybe strong cultivators would simply steal it from them. "Forget about it then," said Lin Feng, putting it away. He looked at the dark landscape around him. "Everybody is hunting everybody else here. We have to be careful. Let's try to get out of here as soon as possible." Qiu Yuxian smiled and said, "It's my first time here too. When I came in, several people tried to kill me. Luckily, I'm not that weak. Weak people die quickly here, I'm sure." "Lin Feng, you're going to become an imperial cultivation disciple, I just know it." Lin Feng looked at her. She was so beautiful, her smile was magnificent. He laughed and said, "Let's go." Lin Feng started running, determined. "Wait." Lin Feng was holding Qiu Yuxian's hand and they ran a few steps before someone called them. Cold energies suddenly surrounded them. "Since you think you can bully me that easily, I'll teach you a lesson." Lin Feng remained motionless. Drip, drip, a strong and ice-cold wind brushed against Lin Feng. Slash. Ice-cold lights moved straight towards Lin Feng. Slash. At the same time, starlights condensed. It was Lin Feng's Tianji sword. Die. Lin Feng's Tianji sword streaked across the sky and lacerated everything in its path. Someone died and blood splashed. Slash, slash. Energies came towards Lin Feng from every direction this time. Stars appeared all around him and then blood splashed everywhere. A few people died trying to block Lin Feng's attack. Boom, boom, boom. Many hands appeared all around Lin Feng. He suddenly turned around and saw Xian Yuan in the air. He was flying towards Lin Feng as fast as he could. "Break!" shouted Lin Feng furiously. His Tianji sword became even more dazzling. A holy weapon! Xian Yuan immediately moved back and looked at Lin Feng coldly. Surprisingly, Lin Feng had a holy weapon. "Xian Yuan, if we were of the same level, you'd be much, much weaker than me. You think that you kill me so easily? Before, I never used all my powers against you. Since you really want to give it a try still, let's fight." Lin Feng was holding his Tianji sword and looked rather cold, like a real warrior. Chapter 1049. Lin Feng's plot. Xian Yuan looked at Lin Feng. Surprisingly, he had a holy weapon. In order to use holy weapons, cultivators had to understand holy marks because of the holy marks carved into them. They required the strength of those holy marks to work. Lin Feng's Tianji sword was a holy weapon and absorbed the strength of the earth and sky, more precisely, the strength of the stars. Then, the strength of the stars was absorbed into the holy marks and the cultivator could then release the transformed energies in the form of powerful attacks. Xian Yuan had a holy weapon before, but it had broken in the dragon palak when he was trying to get the dragon heart. Now, Lin Feng had a holy weapon. Xian Yuan moved his hands and released a terrifying strength which contained his own blood strength. Lin Feng was holding his Tianji sword as its lights spread everywhere around him. In the darkness of the palace, one could clearly see the dazzling stars created by the sword. Arg! Xian Yuan groaned furiously as he released an incredible amount of qi which moved towards Lin Feng. Lin Feng shivered when he heard Xian Yuan's shout, but compared to Yuan Fei's, it was nothing. Die! At the same time, Xian Yuan shouted furiously and two gigantic words appeared, Xian Yuan. They moved towards Lin Feng with deadly speed. Bzz! Lin Feng grinded his teeth and released sword energies filled with the power of the stars. Rumbling sounds spread in the air and the space around them shook. Die! Xian Yuan opened his third eye and a golden axe appeared and moved towards Lin Feng. It was his godly awareness condensed into an incredible attack. Boom boom boom. It was moving straight towards Lin Feng's third eye. Godly Awareness Palace. Lin Feng also opened his third eye, his lofty and massive Godly Awareness Palace appeared. Kaboom! Xian Yuan's axe was making the palace shake violently, but it couldn't break it. Limitless Sky Palace. Xian Yuan was incredulous and even looked scared. A Godly Awareness Palace. Impossible, it can't be. That must be a fake, thought Xian Yuan. Only one person could use that in the continent of the 9 clouds, so Lin Feng couldn't know it. Lin Feng's soul was extremely strong and his godly awareness was way beyond his cultivation level. Alright, let's fight with our godly awareness, said Lin Feng coldly. Xian Yuan's axe had not left even a scratch on Lin Feng's Godly Awareness Palace. Lin Feng's Tianji sword at the same time seemed like it was dancing as it diffused dazzling sword lights. Recall! Shouted Xian Yuan furiously. At the same time, he released terrifying energies towards Lin Feng's sword. Xian Yuan was running away from the sword energies, and when he was far enough away, he turned around and ran away. Lin Feng, I'll kill you sooner or later, he said from a distance. Lin Feng looked at him coldly and yelled, You even joined hands with the Hunters of Darkness to kill me, Xian Yuan, your head will become my trophy soon. Then, Lin Feng's sword disappeared. In the distance, a silhouette was coming towards Lin Feng. It was Qiu Yuxian. How many secrets do you have? Said Qiu Yuxian. Her eyes were twinkling again. Lin Feng had a powerful holy weapon. Incredible! During such a beautiful night, if we were in bed, cuddling, I'd tell you all my secrets, said Lin Feng laughing loudly. Sounds good, said Qiu Yuxian blushing and smiling at Lin Feng. This had aroused him. It's a deal, said Lin Feng laughing nervously. Lin Feng, did the little Xian Yuan boy come back? Asked someone in the distance. It was Yuan Fei. Xian Yuan joined hands with the Hunters of Darkness to kill me, replied Lin Feng. Yuan Fei said coldly, Do you want me to catch up with him and bury him alive? Lin Feng smiled wryly. That guy was very nice, but he was the only one who could say that he wanted to bury Xian Yuan alive. In the northern part of Ba Huang, everybody knew Xian Yuan's name. If anyone heard Yuan Fei talk like that, they would make fun of him. No need. He can't kill me anyways. I'll take Xian Yuan's life sooner or later, said Lin Feng. He would trample on Xian Yuan's corpse and take his head as a trophy. All right, no problem, said Yuan Fei. He looked at Qiu Yuxian, smiled and said, Lin Feng, your lass looks exactly like the princess of the animal world. Not bad. Lin Feng looked at Qiu Yuxian. She was smiling but said nothing. Lin Feng had nothing to say either. Take this, said Lin Feng, handed over the black meteorite to Yuan Fei. Yuan Fei took it, smiled and said, I'll give it to my grandpa, I can't use it either. I don't know if there's anything inside, said Yuan Fei, putting it away. That black meteorite was extremely hard, he couldn't break it either. Otherwise, he would have already done it. Yuan Fei, help me with something, said Lin Feng. Tell me if I can help you, I definitely will, said Yuan Fei nodding. Help me find Xian Yuan, don't bury him, just prevent him from killing people and try to make sure he gets injured. The best result would be if he needed 1 month to recover, said Lin Feng. Xian Yuan had lost against Lin Feng when they were at the same level and he was now chasing him everywhere to kill him. Lin Feng wanted to humiliate him even more. If Xian Yuan wasn't able to become an imperial cultivation disciple, that would be the worst humiliation, especially with his imperial origins. Especially if he was so sure that he was going to rank first amongst Tian-level candidates. Everyone would make fun of him if he failed. Qiu Yuxian looked at Lin Feng and laughed. Lin Feng was funny. Xian Yuan wouldn't be able to become an imperial cultivation disciple, that would be incredibly funny. Everybody would find that hilarious in the northern part of Ba Huang, he thought. Qiu Yuxian kept laughing thinking about those things. Easy, don't worry about that, said Yuan Fei laughing. I'm off then. Where are you going to become an imperial cultivation disciple? I'll come and see you there. I haven't become an imperial cultivation disciple yet. I'm still a candidate. I'm sitting the exam to become Emperor Shi and Emperor Yu's imperial cultivation disciple. The Huangxi Underground is part of the exam, said Lin Feng. Oh, I see. I'll come and see you in a month then. Hurry up and finish your exam, good luck buddy, said Yuan Fei and then left. He was going to look for Xian Yuan. Chapter 1050, Swallowing Shadows? That guy is awesome. No wonder he's the great ape emperor's grandson, said Qiu Yuxian smiling wryly. Just like Lin Feng had said, that guy was easy to get along with. Xian Yuan will pay for what he did to me, hee, said Lin Feng smiling. Qiu Yuxian looked at him and smiled. In Tiantai, everyone will make fun of Xian Yuan. He will hate you even more after this. I don't care, said Lin Feng indifferently, his eyes were twinkling. A boat appeared in his hand and he gave it to Qiu Yuxian. I removed the connection to it. It's a gift for you. I don't need it, said Qiu Yuxian shaking her head. She refused without hesitating at all. Lin Feng took her hand and put the boat in the palm of her hand. He smiled and said, the younger generation of the Yang clan is weak. Therefore, the elders of their clan spent a lot of money and energy to fabricate those boats for them. Yuxian, you're strong but in Ba Huang province, you'll face danger sometimes. I have 2 of these boats. I have both Yang Zilan's and Yang Ziye's boats. So don't worry about me. 2 boats. Qiu Yuxian was surprised as she took a boat. She smiled in a resplendent way. It's a betrothal gift. Does it mean that we can sleep together now? Said Lin Feng smiling fatuously. All right, anytime, said Qiu Yuxian lowering her head and blushing. Lin Feng frowned. We need to finish what we have to do here first though. Then, we'll think about having fun, said Lin Feng smiling. Qiu Yuxian lowered her head and said, I agreed and now you don't dare? Lin Feng was speechless. He would remember that. After that, they used the boat to move farther away. They didn't need to hide anymore. They killed some weak people on the way and escaped easily when they faced stronger cultivators. Lin Feng and Qiu Yuxian had no problem thanks to their boats. Lin Feng had broken through to the 4th Tianqi layer and Qiu Yuxian through to the 7th Tianqi layer. In total, they had to kill 110 people. They had to act fast, so they couldn't hide and wait for people to ambush. With their boats, things were moving along quite quickly. At that moment, they were both on a small path which seemed normal. Drip, drip, Lin Feng heard something but couldn't see anyone. Lin Feng smiled coldly and said, I've been waiting for you. Yuxian, the continent of the 9 clouds is vast and there are many strange spirits. Do you know what spirit is strong? Asked Lin Feng seemingly randomly. You say that there are many strange spirits, there are also many spirits with special abilities. I don't think we can say that there are spirits stronger than others though. It all depends on what you do with them. There are many weapon spirits, blade spirits, spears, swords, axe spirits, all sorts. They're all used by blade cultivators. Who can say a spirit is stronger than another in any of those cases? Said Qiu Yuxian. If a weak cultivator has a sword spirit, Then his spirit won't be strong and vice versa. What do you think about shadow spirits? Asked Lin Feng, smiling. Shadow spirits? If a cultivator manages to become invisible, he can kill people from dozens of kilometers away without getting caught and without leaving a trace. That's very good. There are many cultivators who have shadow spirits here. Since it's dark here, it's a perfect place for them. All right, said Lin Feng, nodding. Exactly his sentiments. Drip drip. Lin Feng and Qiu Xen heard something else, but they acted as if they hadn't heard anything. They continued chatting. Lin Feng recalled their qi, but there were snowflakes around them. Bzz. Terrifyingly sharp energies appeared in front of Lin Feng and moved straight towards him. Empty space bestial illusion technique, shouted Lin Feng instantly. A snowy path appeared around him. He had prepared himself already. A shadow appeared and at the same time, a huge stone appeared in front of him which contained sealing strength. Die. The shadow cultivator realized the distance between him and Lin Feng wasn't changing. He tried attacking again. Seal, shouted Lin Feng. He used his demon sealing stone and sealed the space. Boom boom. The shadow and the stone collided. The stone became huge and sealed the shadow. In fact, Lin Feng had been waiting for Hunters of Darkness for a long time. He was lucky this time. That guy had a shadow spirit, just what he was looking for. Roar, roar, roar. A furious roar spread in the air. Behind Lin Feng, a ferocious dragon appeared. Dragon blood, said the cultivator whose shadow was sealed. He couldn't recall his shadow, so he started panicking. Swallow, said Lin Feng coldly. One of the heads of the dragon swallowed the shadow sealed in the demon seal stone. Arg! The dragon chewed the shadow but didn't manage to swallow it. His enemy's spirit was stronger than his own. Uxen, help! Qiu Xen released her own spirit which moved towards the shadow cultivator. At the same time, Lin Feng jumped forwards, taking out another demon seal stone. Even though they couldn't see the shadow cultivator, they could sense him. Boom boom boom. Oppressive energies invaded the atmosphere as the dragon roared and moved towards the shadow again. Roar! The atmosphere shook violently as the dragon attempted to swallow the shadow again. The shadow cultivator didn't have enough time to react. The dragon swallowed his spirit, swallowing his body at the same time. Chapter 1051. The dragon roared and came back to Lin Feng. Its strength disappeared and everything became calm again. However, Qiu Xen didn't calm down. That dragon was terrifying. How come Lin Feng possessed dragon strength? That wasn't blood strength, that was pure dragon blood. Just as surprising was that his dragon could swallow people and their spirits. Qiu Xen was speechless. Very quickly, she calmed down. Lin Feng kept surprising her all the time. She was starting to get used to it. What kind of dragon spirit is that? I've never seen it before. Asked Qiu Xen. My spirit is a 9-headed dragon. It has the ability to swallow things. It is not a real dragon. It wasn't until recently that I absorbed some real dragon blood which transformed my blood as well as my spirit, replied Lin Feng. Qiu Xen was captivated. Lin Feng had absorbed real dragon blood and it even changed his spirit. Don't tell me that you now have a shadow spirit, said Qiu Xen in a weak voice. Lin Feng smiled in a resplendent way and turned into a shadow. He disappeared from Qiu Xen's field of vision. Qiu Xen's mouth was wide open. Lin Feng had obtained the silver wing spirit because he had absorbed it. She didn't know such spirits existed. Suddenly, Qiu Xen's face turned red. She looked provoked. Try it and you'll see what will happen to you, said Qiu Xen, grinding her teeth. Lin Feng was hugging her, but she couldn't see him. I'm trying, said Lin Feng, laughing nervously. Then he appeared in front of her again. His spirit was mysterious and incredible. He loved it. He could peep on Qiu Xen and touch her without being seen. No wonder the Hunters of Darkness were so strong in this dark space. Try again, said Qiu Xen, grinding her teeth with a smile, yet she didn't seem to be smiling. You're so beautiful, I think you're aware of that, said Lin Feng, smiling fatuously. You're becoming even braver. Qiu Xen then asked, your dragon spirit has 9 heads, can you swallow 9 different spirits? Lin Feng remained silent and released his silver-winged spirit. It was dazzling in the darkness. Lin Feng shrugged and smiled. I still have the silver-winged spirit. It seems to be the way you said, if I use a different head to swallow spirits each time, then I can have 9 different sorts of spirits. Qiu Yuxin was astonished. What a terrifying spirit. Having a dual spirit was already incredible. Having 2 spirits was considered as a gift of the gods in the cultivation world. She already knew a few people in Ba Huang province who had double spirits and their spirits were astonishingly powerful. But Lin Feng could have 9 spirits. Qiu Yuxin couldn't even imagine that kind of strength. Of course, the stronger Lin Feng was, the more powerful the spirits he could absorb. Lin Feng, you should become stronger and absorb Xian Yuan's spirit, said Qiu Yuxin suddenly while smiling. Lin Feng's eyes were twinkling. He had never thought Xian Yuan's spirit was particularly good. Did Qiu Yuxin think his spirit was very powerful? What kind of spirit does Xian Yuan have? Asked Lin Feng. His spirit can metamorphose and it's very powerful. If you can take it, you'll see just how incredible it is, said Qiu Yuxin slowly. But you need to become stronger first. Lin Feng nodded. Lin Feng's goal was always to become stronger. He hadn't forgotten about Meng Qing. That's why he really wanted to become an imperial cultivation disciple, because he might be able to get the medicine required to make Meng Qing turn back into a human being again. If he ranked high enough, he would have a chance to meet Emperor Shi and Emperor Yu and ask them where to get the medicine. Let's continue so we can leave as soon as possible, said Lin Feng. Qiu Yuxin nodded. The earlier they could leave, the better it would be for their exam. A beautiful woman was sitting cross-legged and seemed to be practicing cultivation. She was wearing white clothes and was very beautiful. At that moment, someone saw her in the distance. His eyes twinkled in an evil way. He wanted to kill that beautiful woman who was practicing cultivation out in the open. She was being too careless. You're so beautiful. That person was smiling evilly. He hid his chi and moved towards her. She didn't react at all. He smiled in an even more evil way. In that place, he could do whatever he wanted for nothing was forbidden. I'm lucky. He wanted to get close to her and kill her, but at the same time, a dazzling white light appeared and a terrifying chi moved towards him. His face changed drastically as he could no longer escape. Suddenly, his whole body felt sore and he collapsed. Hunter of darkness, he said in a very weak voice. Those were his last words. He had died, killed by the hunters of darkness. The beautiful woman in white stood up and nodded. Of course, that beautiful woman was Qiu Yuxin. They decided not to hunt others. They instead waited for their prey to come to them. At least, they killed people who wanted to kill them. There were many people who wanted to kill them. Each time they killed someone, it was the same. Lin Feng either used his sword to slit their throat or his demon strength to punch them. After that, Qiu Yuxin could come in and finish them off. In a very short time, Lin Feng had already killed 35 people and Qiu Yuxin 52. Many people were still trying to understand why the emperors had sent them there. Some people thought that the emperors wanted to see if they were determined enough to kill people cold-heartedly, and others thought that the only way to become stronger was to kill all these people. Maybe it was a bit of everything. Half a day passed and Lin Feng had killed 40 people, so he was done. Qiu Yuxin had killed 69 people, so she still had one last person. Chapter 1052. At that moment, Lin Feng and Qiu Yuxin were now heading towards a more central location. They figured that finding someone there wouldn't be too difficult. However, Lin Feng and Qiu Yuxin were surprised to find nobody there. Bzz. It was quite some time before some chi darted towards them. 3 people appeared in front of them. They looked at Lin Feng and Qiu Yuxin with an incredibly cold demeanor. Were those people also almost done with their killing quota? Was that why they were in the central area? If that was the case, then they had the same thought as Lin Feng and Qiu Yuxin. 2 more victims, said one of them with an indifferent smile. Brother, if we kill them, we'll be done and we can go back. We'll get some amazing skills in the Star Tower and you'll become even stronger, said one of them. They were other Imperial Cultivation's disciples in Ba Huang province. Those who managed to get out of here alive are all strong, And strong cultivators obtain great skills. The law of cultivation never changed. Weak people die, strong people live on. Take one each and let's leave, said the leader of the group to the other two indifferently. He possessed a third eye which looked strange. Pupil spirit. Lin Feng had seen many sorts of spirits before, and that was a pupil spirit. His third eye diffused lights which enveloped Lin Feng and Qiu Yu Exin. I wonder what kind of strength that spirit contains, thought Lin Feng. He wanted to move, but couldn't. It was as if they were stuck in a ball of light. His empty space bestial illusion technique was a bit similar, but his empty space illusion contained a different kind of strength. Kill them, said the one with the pupil technique. The others nodded and moved towards Lin Feng and Qiu Yu Exin. A cultivator of the 6th Tianqi layer attacked Qiu Yu Exin and one of the 5th Tianqi layer who attacked Lin Feng. Pupil technique, constriction, shouted the one with the pupil spirit in a rough voice. Lin Feng and Qiu Yu Exin felt even more oppressed. What a strange spirit, thought Lin Feng. Before coming to Ba Huang province, Lin Feng would have been astonished after seeing that spirit, but now he had seen a variety of different spirits. He took this moment to sense those oppressive energies and understand them. Autumn moon, shouted Qiu Yu Exin coldly. A cultivator of the 6th Tianqi layer was attacking her, but he was way too confident in himself. Did he think Qiu Yu Exin and Lin Feng were so weak? Qiu Yu Exin released her autumn moon spirit, which descended from the sky towards her opponent. The opponent was surprised and suddenly felt rather cold. Beautiful moon woman, shouted Qiu Yu Exin. Suddenly, she wasn't standing next to Lin Feng anymore. Even Lin Feng didn't know what she was doing. The enemy who had released his spirit was confused. Where was she? A beautiful and ice-cold autumn moon intent emerged and a celestial-looking silhouette appeared in front of the moon. Beautiful moon woman. Lin Feng smiled indifferently. That was a beautiful attack. After she appeared, blood splashed everywhere. The opponent didn't have time to react as Qiu Yu Exin killed him instantly with her ice-cold energies. How strong, said Lin Feng laughing. The other two were astonished and furious, especially the one with the pupil spirit. Qiu Yu Exin had easily broken free from his pupil spirit and had released her own spirit. I'm done. Qiu Yu Exin was done. She had killed 70 people now, so she could leave with Lin Feng. They had finished in 2 days. Becoming Emperor Shi and Emperor Yu imperial cultivation disciples shouldn't be difficult with that accomplishment. Lin Feng was convinced that they were at least in the top 10. Kill him, said the cultivator with the pupil spirit glaring at Lin Feng. He was still constricting Lin Feng with his pupil spirit. Die, shouted the cultivator of the 5th Tianqi layer. Lin Feng sensed a cold and oppressive strength moving towards him as gigantic hand appeared. An ordinary cultivator of the 4th Tianqi layer would be killed instantly by that attack. How can you be so confident with such a weak attack? Said Lin Feng coldly. He released his demon sealing stone which then collided with the gigantic hand. Die. Lin Feng remained motionless in the sky. His opponent's punch collided with his demon seal stone as lights flashed and the punch dispersed in every direction. Lin Feng's opponent looked upset as he ran back. However, Lin Feng's demon seal stone crashed into him. Killing more people than required shouldn't be a problem, said Lin Feng. His opponent punched the air in his direction again, but it crashed onto the demon seal stone. Rumbling sounds spread in the air as powerful energies emerged from the stone and exploded, propelling the enemy away and killing him. And then there was one. The one with the pupil spirit looked desperate. They were almost done and thought that killing 2 more people before leaving wouldn't be a problem. 2 pieces of trash, he said. Then he threw himself at Lin Feng. Bzz. Lin Feng released his silver wing spirit, wanting to block his opponent's pupil spirit. You think you'll get out? Said the enemy coldly. He continued constricting Lin Feng with his pupil spirit. Chapter 1053, Autumn Moon. Qiu Yu Exin released her moon spirit again as lights enveloped the cultivator who was attacking Lin Feng. Lin Feng groaned and used his empty space bestial illusion technique. A snowy path appeared around them. The enemy punched in Lin Feng's direction, but he realized that his punch was stopped by some kind of strength. He couldn't get near Lin Feng no matter how fast he ran. Dazzling lights illuminated the air as Lin Feng took out his Tianji sword. His opponent had broken through to the 7th Tianqi layer, so Lin Feng needed his holy weapon to gain the advantage. His sword streaked across the sky and the word, "Die," appeared above. In a flash, a terrifying strength emerged from it. A holy weapon. The enemy was aghast. He saw the star light turn into a terrifying qi as it oppressed him. He frowned, thinking about how Lin Feng had a demon seal stone, a holy weapon, and that he could kill cultivators of the 5th Tianqi layer. "Moon shadow coldness," said Xiao Yuexin. In a flash, an incredibly cold moon appeared. "Yuexin, move away," said Lin Feng as his Tianji sword fell from the sky towards the enemy. It turned into a dazzling beam of light and contained a terrifying strength. "No!" shouted the person. However, it was already too late. The moon shadows surrounded his body and he was starting to freeze. Then, he was surrounded by those sword lights as well and died. Xiao Yuexin flew back to Lin Feng and said, "Why didn't you use your holy weapon before?" "It's an external strength. Even though I have to use my own energies to use it, it is not part of my body. A real cultivator shouldn't rely on external tools all the time. I should only use such powerful weapons against equally powerful enemies," said Lin Feng calmly. "If those people weren't stronger than me, I wouldn't use my weapons. I would solely rely on my own strength. You understand cultivation a lot better than most people. No wonder you beat Xian Yuan when you were at the same level," said Qiu Yuexian smiling. "Let's go. I am grateful to those people who just ambushed us. Thanks to them, we reached our quota and now we can go back to Tiantai to become Imperial Cultivation disciples," said Lin Feng smiling. He had traveled from Ganyu to Ba Huang Province, not only to become an Imperial Cultivation disciple, but also to become stronger. As an Imperial Cultivation disciple, he would have many more opportunities. "Indeed," said Qiu Yuexian nodding. They both went to the altar. They quickly arrived in an arched cave with many sacrificial altars. There were protectors in front of each altar. They were all Zun cultivators under the supervision of the great emperors. Not far from them were several other people. One of them seemed furious and his qi looked terrifying. "What's the matter, Gu Shao?" asked someone. "Where are Gu Li and the 2 others? They only had 2 more people to kill." "Gu Li's talisman is broken," said Gu Shao. "What?" The other one's facial expression changed. "If it's broken, are they dead?" "How come?" "They only had 2 more people to kill and Gu Li is very strong," said another one. Gu Li and Gu Shao were 2 brothers. They had come there to fight and make it back to the Star Tower to become stronger. They never thought that one of them would die at the last minute. "I don't know. Some people kill them, I guess. If someone comes here anytime soon, it probably means that they are the killers," said Gu Shao. "Indeed. Gu Li is dead now. Let's wait here and kill those who come to avenge him," said another one. Gu Shao nodded. The 3 people then waited there. Apart from them, there were many others. Those who waited there were very strong. Some people were too lazy to hunt, so they just waited at the exit for their victims. If any weak people tried to leave, they could kill them easily. Some people were shivering thinking about whoever had dared kill Gu Zhao's little brother, Gu Li. Gu Li wasn't weak, so the one who had killed him was probably quite strong. At least now, if they could see Gu Shao fight, it'd be a good show. Lin Feng and Qiu Yuexian immediately understood what was going on when they arrived. It was their first time there, so they had previously thought it'd be easy to leave. However, many people were waiting around the altars for their victims. Lin Feng and Qiu Yuexian didn't stop too far from the crowd. They didn't know what to do. Many people were looking at them. Especially one of them. It was Gu Shao, of course. He was fixated on Qiu Yuexian and Lin Feng, but he couldn't be certain. Qiu Yuexian had broken through to the 7th Tianqi layer and Lin Feng had only broken through to the 4th. Gu Li and his 2 friends had broken through to the 7th, 6th and 5th Tianqi layers. Could Lin Feng and Qiu Yuexian have killed them? "You 2 come here," said Gu Shao coldly. He sounded like their leader. Qiu Yuexian had broken through to the 8th Tianqi layer. Lin Feng frowned. He looked like the one they had just killed. "What do you want?" said Lin Feng indifferently, not moving. He told you to come here, didn't you hear him? Said one of Gu Zhao's friends aggressively. Lin Feng slowly turned his head and looked at the one who had just talked. Lin Feng had only broken through to the 4th Tianqi layer and was quite arrogant. Chapter 1054, Holy Weapon. I only want to ask you one question, said Gu Zhao. Did you just kill 3 people on your way here? As expected. Lin Feng was right. That's why Gu Zhao looked like the one he had just killed. We did, said Lin Feng. It was useless to lie. Those people were strong and arrogant. They would attack even if Lin Feng lied. Gu Zhao released a cold chi when he heard Lin Feng. Gu Zhao, do you want to kill them yourself, or should we help? Asked one of his friends. Leave it to me, said Gu Zhao menacingly while releasing a piercingly cold chi. A cultivator of the 8th Tianqi layer and 2 cultivators of the 7th Tianqi layer. Lin Feng looked at them. You killed my brother, so you must be quite strong, said Gu Zhao looking at Qiu Yuexin. He was convinced that Qiu Yuexin had killed his brother because Lin Feng had only broken through to the 4th Tianqi layer. You're beautiful and strong. Unfortunately, your life will end now because you killed my brother, said Gu Zhao indifferently. Ha! Gu Zhao, don't you think having some fun with her before killing her would be better? One of his friends asked. Right? Gu Zhao, she's so beautiful. You should give her a try, said another one. Many people started laughing frantically. Lin Feng looked at them coldly as he unsheathed his Tianji sword. A holy weapon. They stopped laughing and looked at Lin Feng's Tianji sword. They all looked greedy. They wanted to steal it. Lin Feng wrote the word die in the air. That word contained a terrifying energy with some holy marks inside it. Gu Zhao was surprised. A holy weapon. He was probably a cultivator from a rich family. Maybe you're the one who killed Gu Li actually. I'll have to kill you too then, said Gu Zhao. Bzz. Starlight illuminated the atmosphere. A trail of light followed Lin Feng as he moved his Tianji sword. Holy mark strength. The crowd was amazed. It was rare to see a cultivator of the 4th Tianqi layer who could use holy marks. Bzz. Even more chaotic chi invaded the atmosphere and emitted whistling sounds. There seemed to be a constellation in the sky. Very quickly, the crowd realized that Lin Feng was drawing a sword in the sky. It was a dazzling sword drawn with holy marks. Even cultivators of the 7th Tianqi layer realized how strong Lin Feng was. Why isn't anyone boistering anymore? Asked Lin Feng indifferently. Die, said Lin Feng coldly. He suddenly turned around and dazzling lights appeared. No. Some people frowned, some even turned deathly pale. Lin Feng heard them humiliate Qiu Yuexin, so he wanted to kill them too. Some of them looked desperate, others terrified. In any case, it was too late to run now. Lin Feng's terrifying strength invaded everything around them and a layer of dust was rising from the ground. The atmosphere was distorted and the ground was crackling. The others were speechless. His sword had destroyed all those people who had made fun of Qiu Yuexin. How strong! Everybody nodded. Lin Feng didn't attack Gu Zhao. He attacked those who had humiliated Qiu Yuexin first. Those who dared humiliate her had to die because he had to protect the women he loved. Qiu Yuexin looked at Lin Feng. Her heart felt warm. Lin Feng didn't talk much. He looked at Gu Zhao and his 2 friends. He was still holding his Tianji sword. He said coldly, "Your move." However, Gu Zhao acted as if he had never heard Lin Feng. He stood there and said, "With your holy weapon and the holy mark strength it contains, you can defeat any ordinary cultivator of the 9th Tianqi layer. However, you're not the only one who has a holy weapon. Today, you will die and your weapon will have a new owner." Gu Zhao then took out a golden bell. It was dazzling and its chime made people tremble. A holy weapon! The crowd was amazed. Gu Zhao's holy weapon seemed to contain an explosive power. "Yuexin, follow me," said Lin Feng to Yuexin, using telepathy after he saw Gu Zhao's holy weapon. Lin Feng released some sword strength. The space seemed to open in front of them. At the same time, snowflakes appeared. His snow and sword chi were mixing together. Lin Feng's Tianji sword contained an incredible strength, but Gu Zhao still looked indifferent. Lin Feng had only broken through to the 4th Tianqi layer and he had broken through to the 8th. Both of them had a weapon, so Lin Feng couldn't defeat him. Die! Shouted Lin Feng furiously. Gu Xiao's friends moved away. Gu Xiao had a holy weapon, so it would be easy for him to defeat Lin Feng. In any case, they had broken through to the 7th Tianqi layer, but even they couldn't compete with Lin Feng. He had just killed a bunch of people who were similarly as strong them. Empty space bestial illusion technique. At the same time, Lin Feng cast his illusion spell. He grabbed Qiuyu Xian's hand and ran towards the altar as fast as he could. His sword energies crashed onto Gu Xiao's golden bell and a terrifying whirlwind appeared. Bzz, people were amazed. Lin Feng and Qiuyu Xian ignored everything else and just threw themselves at the altars. Absorb! Gu Xiao tapped his golden bell and in a flash, the bell absorbed all the sword energies. It made the bell shake but nothing more. Boom! A punch passed near Lin Feng, but crashed into the illusion spell instead. The snowy tunnel shook, but nothing more. Empty space illusion. They saw Lin Feng pass near them. Where are you going? Said Gu Xiao. A rainbow emerged from his golden bell and it became gigantic. Everything and everyone was suddenly surrounded by those colorful lights, including Lin Feng's snowy tunnel. Chapter 1055. What a powerful holy weapon, thought the crowd. That holy weapon could turn into a gigantic, ancient bell and its power had a huge reach. Lin Feng was in his illusion, but like everything else, he was surrounded by the energies of the golden bell. Bzz. The golden bell kept resonating. People's ears were sore by now. Lin Feng and Qiuyu Xian were probably suffering more than everybody else though, they were the targets after all. Gu Xiao jumped forwards and landed on his golden bell. Why is Gu Xiao so furious? Thought the crowd when they arrived near the altars. The altars were made using deployment spell. There were 20 to 30 altars, which meant that there were 20 to 30 groups of influence there. The one who said that was an old man who possessed an incredible qi. The altar the old man was protecting had Tianlong written above it. Tianlong was the name of an emperor and Gu Xiao was precisely one of Tianlong's imperial cultivation disciples. He killed my brother, so I have to kill him, said Gu Xiao. You can use your oppressive strength with holy marks. You'll kill him easily and avenge your brother, said the old man. Oomph. At that moment, another old man groaned coldly and said, This should be a safe place. It's forbidden to fight here. Put your weapons away. In the past, the emperors who had created that area had decided how many people cultivators had to kill to leave and that the area around the altars was to be a safe place. Nobody knew which family Lin Feng belonged. All they knew was that he had offended Emperor Tianlong's disciples. You think this place belongs to you or what? Said Emperor Tianlong's henchman to the other old man. Emperor Shi and Emperor Yu organized exams to recruit imperial cultivation disciples and so far, none of them have made it to the altar. Let's wait and see how many people will make it out. Initially, they said they wanted to recruit 81 people, but if they all died in here, well, that would be funny. Everybody calmed down and stopped talking to listen to the old men. The old man who said it was forbidden to fight there was protecting an altar which said Emperor Yu and Emperor Shi. There were tensions between Emperor Tianlong and Emperor Shi and Emperor Yu. Everybody knew about that. It is a rule which was decided when this place was created. Or could it be that you don't need to follow rules anymore and that you don't respect all the other emperors? Said Emperor Shi and Emperor Yu's henchmen. The other old man groaned and said to Gu Xiao, you must have killed them with your bell already. Take it away and let's see. Gu Xiao nodded. He thought that Lin Feng and Qiuyu Xian were in his bell. It was a holy weapon after all and he was very strong. Rumbling sounds spread in the air when Gu Xiao took his bell away. However, a terrifying sword qi invaded the entire space as he lifted the bell. Qiuyu Xian was suddenly surrounded by holy sword marks. Die! Shouted Lin Feng furiously. He unsheathed his Tianji sword again and its strength moved towards the golden bell. Bzz. Boom boom boom. A terrifying sound spread in the air leaving Gu Xiao stunned. Let's go, said Lin Feng glancing at Emperor Yu and Emperor Shi's altar. Emperor Shi and Emperor Yu's henchmen were surprised. Lin Feng and Qiu Yu Xian were coming to them. Were those people sitting their exam? Besides, they were the first ones to make it this far, which meant they would rank first and second. Emperor Tianlong's henchman looked at Lin Feng and said coldly, "Do you think you can leave that easily?" He suddenly appeared behind Lin Feng and Qiu Yu Xian and released a terrifying strength. Lin Feng was still holding his Tianji sword as he attempted to block the old man's attack. Shameless! Emperor Shi and Emperor Yu's henchmen suddenly looked furious. Those protectors were Zun cultivators who remained there to enforce the rules. How shameless was it for Gu Shao to attack Lin Feng and Qiu Yu Xian as they were leaving? That was disrespecting Emperor Shi and Emperor Yu. "Piss off!" shouted Lin Feng furiously. He punched the air in the direction of the golden bell and again in the direction of the shameless old man. Empty space bestial illusion technique. Lin Feng had to use his empty space bestial illusion technique again. It was a lot weaker this time. He grabbed Qiu Yu Xian's hands and ran towards the altar. "You can use the altar, don't worry, just hurry," shouted Emperor Shi and Emperor Yu's henchmen. He immediately opened the way for Lin Feng and Qiu Yu Xian leave. Lin Feng nodded. The energies around the altar then enveloped Lin Feng and Qiu Yu Xian. "Fuck off," shouted Gu Shao furiously. His golden bell turned bright and moved towards the old man guarding the exit. "Insolent!" The old man slapped the golden bell away. On the other side, Emperor Tianlong's henchman punched the air in the direction of the other old man while running after Lin Feng. How shameless! Emperor Shi and Emperor Yu's henchman was furious. Emperor Tianlong's henchman had actually attacked Lin Feng and Qiu Yu Xian as they were leaving. Bzz. Lin Feng and Qiu Yu Xian were inside Lin Feng's empty space illusion as the old Zun cultivators' attack enveloped them. Kaboom! Lin Feng's empty space illusion broke. It was powerful, but against a Zun cultivator, it wasn't very useful. His energy continued moving towards Lin Feng and Qiu Yu Xian. "Move," said Qiu Yu Xian while grabbing Lin Feng. But someone appeared in front of them, protecting them both. "Piss off." Powerful energies moved towards that person. Boom boom. Bzz. The atmosphere was shaking as Lin Feng and Qiu Yu Xian disappeared. "They're gone." The old man knew he hadn't managed to kill Lin Feng and Qiu, so he was furious. Gu Shao was furious too. After a while, Lin Feng and Qiu Yu Xian were back in Tiantai. What a relief! However, Lin Feng was coughing up blood. He was injured because of the old man's energies. "What's wrong?" said Ho Qinglin when he saw Lin Feng was coughing blood. He had just been injured. How come? Had someone attacked Lin Feng in front of the altar? Chapter 1056. Lin Feng looked around. Lin Feng and Qiu Yu Xian were the first ones. Nobody else was there apart from them. Lin Feng was happy. He hoped that would play the biggest role in their ranking. If strength was the only factor, he definitely couldn't rank first. Phew! Lin Feng coughed up blood again. Ho Qinglin said, "When we were about to come back, a protector attacked us in front of the altar. He wanted to kill us." Ho Qinglin frowned. He looked angry. "He dared," said Ho Qinglin coldly. "Lin Feng, why did he attack you?" "In the underground world, a cultivator of the 8th Tianqi layer with a holy weapon tried to attack me, but he couldn't manage to prevent me from making it to the altar, so an old man decided to help him." Ho Qinglin suddenly looked furious. Killing is normal in that world, however, killing in front of the altar is forbidden. How shameless! "Follow me, Lin Feng," said Ho Qinglin coldly. Lin Feng nodded and stood up again. "I'm coming too," said Qiu Yu Xian. Ho Qinglin nodded and they arrived at a palace where they could go back. They then arrived in the underground world again. Slash. Ho Qinglin groaned coldly and released some energies at someone. That person immediately fell down and died. Lin Feng didn't know how Ho Qinglin had done that. "Let's go." A powerful energy surrounded the three of them and they turned into a beam of light moving towards the altars. Lin Feng and Qiu Yu Xian glanced at each other. What a terrifying speed. It was faster than their boats even. Ho Qinglin was incredible. Lin Feng had seen how strong Ho Qinglin was in Ganyu with his reincarnation sword. Boom! Xian Yuan sensed an incredibly powerful energies above him, so he raised his head. He couldn't make them out, for he would be even more furious. Yuan Fei had been chasing him for 2 full days without stopping, like a cat and mouse. He was furious, he was almost going insane. Lin Feng had probably asked Yuan Fei to do that. "Who can be that strong?" whispered Xian Yuan. How could he guess who it was? "Xian Yuan, little boy, continue running, otherwise I'll kill you," said Yuan Fei extremely loudly from far away. "Damn you," thought Xian Yuan. He then continued running. When was Yuan Fei going to leave? Xian Yuan still had to finish his exam. Ho Qing Lin, Lin Feng and Qiu Yu Xen were still in the sky flying towards the altars. Very quickly they arrived. Some people were still there. They still looked pensive because of what had just happened. A young man of the 4th Tianqi layer had taken out a holy weapon. The fact that Gu Shao wanted to avenge his brother's death, 2 Zun cultivators had started fighting. In the end, the protectors stopped fighting, but it was no secret how shameless Emperor Tianlong's henchman was. Gu Shao had already left and Emperor Tianlong's henchmen were smiling coldly. Now and then he glanced at Emperor Yu and Emperor Shi's henchmen. He hadn't managed to kill Lin Feng and Qiu Yu Xen. They were lucky this time. 3 people arrived. Those 2. Hadn't they left already? Why were they back? But when they saw Ho Qing Lin, they instantly understood what was going on. It's getting better, thought the crowd. They were moving very quickly as it didn't take long before they arrived in the middle of the altars. The protector were surprised and so was the crowd. They understood what was going to happen. Interesting. If the tensions between Emperor Tianlong and Emperor Shi and Emperor Yu continued, then a full-out war could occur. "Brother Ho," said Emperor Shi and Emperor Yu's henchman when he saw Ho Qing Lin. He was smiling. His second fellow disciple had come. Even though he was much older than Ho Qing Lin was the emperor's second direct disciple, so he had to show respect. Emperor Tianlong's henchman was nervous now. "Lin Feng, who injured you?" asked Ho Qing Lin indifferently. Lin Feng turned his head and pointed at Emperor Tianlong's henchman saying, "He did." Ho Qing Lin looked at him. Ho Qing Lin, he looked scared. He knew Emperor Shi and Emperor Yu's direct disciple, Ho Qing Lin. Ho Qing Lin, reincarnation sword. Many people recognized him. Ho Qing Lin was famous and not only in the Ba Huang province. Every imperial cultivation disciple in Ba Huang province knew him. How will Ho Qing Lin handle this matter? Thought the crowd. Ho Qing Lin slowly walked towards the Zun cultivator. "Ho Qing Lin, what are you doing?" asked the old man coldly, but he was scared. "Don't forget that apart from protectors, other Zun cultivators can't come here." "You actually have the balls to explain the rules to me after what you just did?" said Ho Qing Lin. The old man was speechless. Indeed, he had violated rules just before. He hadn't thought Ho Qing Lin would violate rules as well and come there in person. The Huangxi Underground is a place where people kill each other. Your disciple was killed by my disciple, that's normal. Then your disciple attacked mine near the altars, which is a violation of the rules. You're a Zun cultivator, you violated the rules and attacked my disciple, you're too shameless. Besides, you're a protector, you can't attack disciples, that's another violation of the rules. "You should die, of course," said Ho Qing Lin. Everybody was astonished. Did Ho Qing Lin want to kill the old man? Chapter 1057. If you're not insane, can you become an emperor? "Die, of course," repeated the old man. He was fixedly staring at Ho Qing Lin as he said, "Emperor Tianlong is one of the emperors who created this place. Nobody knows where Emperor Yu and Emperor Shi are, they came out of nowhere. I protect this altar and you dare say I should die? Ridiculous, who said cultivators can't become emperors? Emperor Tianlong has been an emperor for a long time now. Emperor Yu and Emperor Shi became emperors thanks to their natural abilities. That's not the case for Emperor Tianlong. You violated the rules by attacking my fellow disciple, so you will die." Ho Qing Lin jumped forwards and pale lights appeared which surrounded the old man. It seemed like he was going to freeze. Ho Qing Lin is actually attacking him. The crowd shivered. Ho Qing Lin was incredible. In the future, he would definitely become an emperor. Even now some emperors respected Ho Ching Lin. His future would be bright. The emperor moved backwards and jumped into his altar, which started twinkling. He was getting ready to teleport. He wants to escape, the crowd was astonished. Although he was a protector, he was ready to abandon this place and his disciples. How shameful! Ho Ching Lin was chasing him to kill him. What was the better decision? Escaping and losing face and making Emperor Tianlong lose face, or dying protecting the altar? He cared more for his own life than for his group's reputation. Ho Ching Lin, if you force me to leave, the emperor will be furious and you won't remain unharmed. Do you think that's necessary? Said the old man, scared. He didn't want to leave if he didn't have to. When you attacked my disciple, which is a violation of the rules, you didn't think that my teachers would be furious. You're ridiculous, said Ho Ching Lin. He continued walking forwards. I told you, I will definitely kill you. The old man frowned. Ho Ching Lin was determined to kill him. The altar was shining more and more as the teleportation portal appeared. He was about to leave. So, you're leaving? Said Ho Ching Lin. The old man looked scared. He released some qi and a cloud appeared which moved towards Ho Ching Lin. If I don't kill you, my fellow disciple won't get his revenge, said Ho Ching Lin, punching the cloud and instantly destroying it. He continued moving forwards with indescribable speed. Beat! Dazzling lights appeared as the old man slowly started disappearing. Keep dreaming, said the old man. Ho Ching Lin couldn't manage to kill the old man. It was too late. Ho Ching Lin, never dream, said Ho Ching Lin indifferently. He jumped towards the altar. The crowd was astonished. What was Ho Ching Lin doing? If Ho Ching Lin jumped into that portal, he would end up in the enemy's territory. Would he kill the old man there? He was insane. It was too dangerous. Lin Feng was astonished too. Bzz. Strength appeared around the altar again. Ho Ching Lin was activating the altar himself. Brother, forget about it, shouted Lin Feng. Ho Ching Lin was already his fellow disciple, so he could call him brother. Brother, you just became an imperial cultivation disciple, so nobody can humiliate you. Besides, he violated the rules to attack you. That old dog is a disgrace. If Emperor Shi and Emperor Yu's disciples lose battles in normal conditions, we won't say anything, but now he humiliated you and violated the rules. Ho Ching Lin looked calm and serene as if he was doing something normal. Other people were astonished though. Even those who had nothing to do with it, this looked tense. Ho Ching Lin was insane. Lin Feng became serious. Ho Ching Lin was ready to do anything for his fellow disciples and teachers. Strength continued enveloping Ho Ching Lin. He was leaving. He was really leaving. He's not afraid, thought the crowd. Emperor Shi and Emperor Yu's henchmen said to Lin Feng, Brother, go back and inform the others. All right, said Lin Feng, nodding. Qiu Yu Xin and Lin Feng moved back to the altar. They had to tell Mu Chen about Ho Ching Lin. Very quickly, Lin Feng and Qiu Yu Xin were in Tiantai again. There was still nobody there. Quickly they found the sadhu. Brother, Ho Ching Lin used the Emperor Tianlong's teleportation portal, said Lin Feng to the sadhu. The sadhu immediately stood up. All right, I understand. His silhouette flickered and he flew towards a palace. Lin Feng didn't have time to tell him the reason. Where did he go? Asked Qiu Yu Xin. He must have gone to Mu Chen, said Lin Feng. Mu Chen them came. He looked calm, calmer than the sadhu. Lin Feng, let's walk and talk, said Mu Chen. Lin Feng nodded. Strength surrounded Lin Feng. Mu Chen was taking Lin Feng to the same palace again. UX and you stay here, said Lin Feng. Mu Chen and Lin Feng disappeared again. Qiu Yu Xin looked at them. She was speechless. Mu Chen's agility technique was incredible. Lin Feng, tell me what happened. Lin Feng looked serious. In the blink of an eye, they appeared in the Huang Sea underground again. Lin Feng explained everything to Mu Chen very quickly. Mu Chen smiled in a resplendent way. He looked calm even. Lin Feng was confused by his reaction to this news. If you're not insane, how can you become an emperor? I'm not surprised by his actions at all, said Mu Chen laughing. They were already at the altar. The crowd was incredulous when they saw them. Lin Feng had left only a few minutes before. If you're not insane, how can you become an emperor? Whispered Lin Feng. Chapter 1058. Insane. Ho Qing Lin said he wanted to kill the old man and he didn't hesitate for a second. Mu Chen was right, that was insanity. But in Mu Chen's opinion, to become an emperor, you had to be a bit insane. I'll go and see how things are going myself, said Mu Chen, jumping towards Emperor Tianlong's altar. He disappeared inside. Ho Qing had gone and now Mu Chen was going there too. Mu Chen and Ho Qing were both Emperor Yu and Emperor Shi's direct disciples. What would happen if they suddenly appeared in Emperor Tianlong's territory? They were insane. Besides, Emperor Tianlong's people as well as the emperor himself were going to lose face. Mu Chen and Ho Qing were going to cause a lot of trouble there. Brother, can I come too? Asked Lin Feng to Mu Chen. Mu Chen nodded and said, all right, come. That'll do you good too. Thank you, brother, said Lin Feng while jumping onto the altar. Strength appeared and enveloped them. The crowd was astonished, they were all insane. Because Emperor Tianlong's henchmen had attacked Lin Feng, they were going to cause that much trouble. Ho Qing had left for a short time, but it was enough time for him to cause a substantial amount of trouble. As they arrived, they came across many palaces which all looked very majestic. There was a gigantic statue with someone standing on top of it. That person was holding a bleeding human head in their left hand. It was the head of the old man who had tried to kill Lin Feng. In his right hand, there was a dazzling sword. It was the reincarnation sword, Ho Qing sword. Ho Qing, you're insane. There were many strong cultivators who were releasing a powerful qi. They were all Zun cultivators of Emperor Tianlong's imperial sect. Ho Qing had followed the old man to Emperor Tianlong's territory and killed him there. They felt humiliated. He tried to kill my disciple at the altar. He had to die, said Ho Qing calmly. Gu Shao was in the distance and saw everything. He was furious. He understood what Ho Qing meant. Nobody could understand the situation better than him. He hadn't thought that Ho Qing would come to their territory to kill the old man though. His heart was racing. You should die too then, said someone coldly. Ho Qing, everybody said you'd become an emperor someday. Unfortunately, you're going to die today. A powerful strength invaded the space and surrounded Ho Qing. The terrifying energies oppressed Ho Qing. A few dozen Zun cultivators were releasing their abstruse energies at the same time. Ho Qing raised his head and looked at the energies. He threw away the head he was holding and said, people who disrespect Emperor Shi and Emperor Yu should die. Ho Qing slowly raised his sword. His sword then fell down from the sky and it seemed like the whole world was going to collapse under it. It left a trail behind in the sky and everything on that path of the sword turned to ashes. There were no terrifying sounds, just small subtle sounds. However, the energies the sword contained were terrifying. A hole appeared in the atmosphere and Ho Qing jumped into it. Ho Qing, you'll die today, no matter what it takes, said a voice which resonated far and wide. A gigantic hand fell from the sky towards Ho Qing. It looked like the hand from a god. It was as if the sky was going to collapse under its weight. Limitless sea of pain, said someone in a deep voice. The gigantic hand was falling down and waves of energies were rolling in the air. You will be born again soon, said Ho Qing indifferently. He raised his sword again and released some sword strength. It emitted dazzling lights as the gigantic and limitless sea of pain fell into it. The reincarnation space became even larger. It seemed like it could swallow the 10,000 things of creation. The gigantic hand fell into it and now it was going to reincarnate. Nobody can escape their karma, said Ho Qing in a deep voice. The hand then disappeared. Your reincarnation strength can't escape from a holy and celestial hand though, said the one who kept talking big. His gigantic hand appeared and moved towards Ho Qing. In a flash, it forcefully grabbed Ho Qing. Frozen world, life's end, said another one seriously. Ho Qing felt very cold. Die, said that person. An infinite amount of strength emerged in the air and moved towards Ho Qing. Ho Qing was bathing in lights. Those energies couldn't kill him. His reincarnation sword streaked across the sky and easily broke the ice. Ho Qing will kill you today, said those people moving towards him. However, Ho Qinglin just looked cold and detached. Nobody there could cause him any worry. Since you think you can kill me so easily, I'll make sure you don't reincarnate, said Ho Qinglin. His reincarnation sword was still streaking across the sky, emitting subtle sounds and diffusing reincarnation energies. A sea of reincarnation energy appeared behind his sword. Bzz. Two silhouettes approached Ho Qinglin and were quickly swallowed by the reincarnation energies. They had no time to say anything, their bodies just disappeared. He's so strong, he's defying the laws of the earth and the sky, thought Mu Chen and Lin Feng in the distance. They could see everything. Mu Chen, the crowd sensed a presence. They turned around and saw Mu Chen and Lin Feng. Emperor Yu and Emperor Shi's second direct disciple, Ho Qinglin, was there. And now their first direct disciple, Mu Chen, was there too. This was a humiliation for Emperor Tianlong and his disciples. Chapter 1059. Teleportation, Brother. When Ho Qinglin saw Mu Chen, he nodded and smiled. Mu Chen, another incredible cultivator, was there with him. With him, nothing could happen. Mu Chen smiled and looked at Emperor Tianlong's people. Emperor Tianlong has been famous for a long time. How come his disciples are so incompetent? A bunch of Zun cultivators can't even kill my fellow disciple alone. What a disgrace. Mu Chen, Ho Qinglin came to our territory and is killing our people. You guys will pay for his sins with your life. Continue to insult us and you'll see. We'll teach you a thing or two, said the cultivator who was using the celestial hand attack before. Ho Qinglin couldn't leave, otherwise Emperor Tianlong would be furious. You're wrong. You killed one of our disciples at the altar. We came here to enforce the rules. We didn't break any rule by coming here, said Mu Chen calmly. He then added, Ho Qinglin is a cultivator of the 5th Zun Qi layer though. If you, at the same cultivation level as him, were able to kill him, I wouldn't say anything. However, if you're weak, you're just a disgrace to your emperor. Cultivators of the same level? The Zun cultivators were smiling. Everybody knew that Ho Qinglin was extremely strong. For a cultivator of the same cultivation level, defeating Ho Qinglin would be extremely difficult. He glanced at Mu Chen and said, We'll kill him in any case. Die. Waves of energies rolled in the air and turned into beams of light moving towards Ho Qinglin. He moved his hand again, which then became gigantic. He wanted to kill Ho Qinglin. It's not that easy to humiliate Emperor Shi and Emperor Yu's disciples, said Mu Chen when he saw the cultivator attack Ho Qinglin. Lin Feng was suddenly surrounded by lights and Mu Chen disappeared. Mu Chen had cast a protection spell on Lin Feng. He appeared in another place and Lin Feng had the impression he was hallucinating. Mu Chen appeared next to Ho Qinglin. Both fellow disciples smiled at each other. This was going to be a good battle. Reincarnation lights invaded the territory. Ho Qinglin's sword attack looked just simple as before. Most people couldn't understand just how terrifying that attack was. A hole appeared in the atmosphere again and a few more holes appeared after that. It seemed like those holes contained the energies of life and death. It seemed like souls were emanating from those holes. Destroy, shouted someone. A gigantic hand as big as a mountain appeared. People looked tiny next to that hand. The gigantic hand moved towards the reincarnation empty space and grabbed it, but it couldn't destroy it. Oppressive energies surrounded Ho Qinglin and Mu Chen. Each attack was incredible and powerful. Lin Feng was astonished. Only one of those attacks would be enough to kill him. There are millions of ways to fight, said Mu Chen as lights emerged from his body. Born in dust, back to dust, said Mu Chen indifferently. Everything was turning to dust on the path of Mu Chen's attack. What's that? Thought Lin Feng. He was speechless and amazed. Emperor Shi and Emperor Yu's disciples were terrifyingly strong. My fellow disciple attacked the old man who attacked our fellow disciples. Now we're even. Let's not infuriate the emperors, said Mu Chen. He didn't want to create too much tension. Otherwise, if Emperor Tianlong got furious, a great war would start. Brother, let's go, said Mu Chen to Ho Qinglin while jumping towards Lin Feng and grabbing him. Where do you think you're going? Asked one of the strong cultivators who had started chasing them. Mu Chen and Ho Qinglin had come and caused them trouble, now they wanted to leave? On top of that, they had insulted their Zun cultivators. Mu Chen, Lin Feng and Ho Qinglin continued running and arrived at a teleportation portal. Mu Chen opened his third eye and inspected the portal. At the same time, he moved his hands as if he was drawing something. What is he doing? Thought Lin Feng. Mu Chen was carving holy marks which contained an incredible illusion strength. The atmosphere was whistling as a hole appeared. Empty space portal, open, said Mu Chen. A gate appeared and strength rolled out of it. Lin Feng didn't have enough time to see exactly what Mu Chen was doing. Mu Chen carved more holy marks and Lin Feng's heart was racing. Mu Chen was opening an empty space portal. Get in, said Mu Chen. Lin Feng and Ho Qinglin went through the gate. Lin Feng was feeling strange, like he was in a dream. It was the same sensation as when he had used the altar. Mu Chen could use his own strength to create altars and teleport at a whim. Many strong cultivators chased them. Their energies were powerful and they were furious, but the three disciples disappeared before they could catch them. Lin Feng was astonished. He opened his mouth, but Ho Qinglin talked first using telepathy. Lin Feng, don't bother him right now. If you distracted him, it could be troublesome. He needs to concentrate. Lin Feng nodded. Mu Chen remained silent. He was using his godly awareness to incredible degree. Lin Feng couldn't imagine how Mu Chen was doing that. Bzz. Lin Feng was shaking. He had the feeling a tower was weighing heavy on his back, and then he sensed something under his feet. He saw something in front of him. They were back in the Huangxi underground, at the altars. Lin Feng was astonished and the crowd was too. Those altars could only be used for one-way teleportation. Had those three used their own strength to teleport? Ho Qinglin, Mu Chen and Lin Feng had used Emperor Tianlong's altar and now they were back? Emperor Tianlong's people would go insane. Chapter 1060, Great Conflict. How incredible! How did they come back? Thought the crowd astonished. Could Ho Qinglin and Mu Chen already cast teleportation spells? There's blood. Seems like Ho Qinglin killed the guy. Thought the crowd when they saw the blood on his silver clothes. He had slaughtered someone. Even though people didn't know what had happened in Emperor Tianlong's territory, Emperor Tianlong's people were probably going insane right now. Emperor Shi and Emperor Yu's disciples had gone to their territory and made it back. Altar strength started flowing again. Emperor Tianlong's altar, some people are trying to make it back, thought the crowd. As expected, the situation was getting out of hand. Ho Qinglin groaned, turned around and dazzling lights appeared. He immediately jumped towards the altar. Rumbling sounds spread in the air as the altar broke. How insane, thought the crowd. Without an altar, it would be extremely difficult to make it back from the Huangxi underground. Ho Qinglin is insane, thought the crowd. He had slaughtered the protector of the altar and now he had destroyed their altar. Ho Qinglin looked at the old man who was at their own altar and frowned as if he wanted to say something. Tianlong's people won't forget that easily. If they look for us, we don't care, but I'm scared that they could use other evil methods to attack our people in here. It's our emperor's first recruitment process, so we can't let anyone ruin it, said Mu Chen, reasoning. Ho Qinglin was also worried about that. They didn't care about Tianlong's people, but they were worried about their candidates who were still there. Besides, everybody knew about their teacher's recruitment process. If Emperor Tianlong was furious, he would find a way to ruin their exam. Of course, Mu Chen and Ho Qinglin didn't want that to happen. We can stay here, said Mu Chen indifferently. He then looked at Lin Feng and said, Lin Feng, go back and inform our fellow disciple. He will know what to do. All right. Lin Feng nodded without hesitation. He jumped onto their altar again. All this was happening because of him. He hadn't thought the situation would get out of hand like that. Gu Shao hadn't anticipated any of this either. Otherwise, would he have dared act that way? The underground was incredibly vast and many people were still inside, hunting. Somewhere in that forest, a cultivator of the 6th Tianqi layer stopped at the top of a tree. Suddenly, people appeared not far away. He looked in that direction and observed the powerful cultivators. They were all Zun cultivators. He had the feeling he was going to suffocate under their oppressive qi. What's going on? Why are there Zun cultivators here? One of the Zun cultivators was particularly strong. Those people disappeared in the horizon, but their qi lingered and continued to oppress that person. The cultivator remained on the tree and tried to calm down. He was wondering where those strong cultivators were from. Bzz. At that moment, another terrifying wave of strength rolled in the air. More people appeared at the same place again. There again. His heart started racing. What a coincidence. Two different groups arriving from the same place. Zun cultivators again. His heart was pounding. Those people disappeared again. Something serious is going on. He didn't understand what was going on. Zun cultivators from two different groups arriving at the same place. Something big was going on. He wasn't the only one who was surprised. Everyone else there was surprised. They were all thinking the same thing. Something serious was going on. Many people watched as the Zun cultivators disappear in the horizon. So many Zun cultivators. Mu Chen and Ho Qinglin were still at the altar, calmly waiting there. They didn't have to wait too long until Emperor Tianlong's people arrived. You're chasing us. Wonderful. Tiantai is open now. Do you want to follow us there? Said Mu Chen with an indifferent smile as if he hadn't sensed their cold energies. We heard candidates applying to become Emperor Shi and Emperor Yu's imperial cultivation disciples are here. They mustn't be weak. We'll have to go and see them for ourselves, said the leader of the group, smiling coldly. They couldn't go to Tiantai. They weren't strong enough. Second, if they went there, a real war would start. They wouldn't be able to deal with the emperors then. They wanted to make the two emperors and their people lose face. Mu Chen smiled. Those people were threatening them, but they weren't too insane. In the distance, more energies rolled in the air. People turned around and saw a group of people. Lin Feng was there too. Emperor Shi and Emperor Yu's people were coming. Tianlong's people were not happy. Listen, said Mu Chen. Everybody looked at him. Everybody must clearly understand what happened today. In this place, disciples come here to become stronger by hunting other people. There are rules too. At the altars, it is forbidden to fight. If everybody violated that rule and attacked here, this underground training ground would be meaningless. The old man attacked our fellow disciple, even though he was a protector. We came to Tianlong, but now we left. Why chase us? If you want to fight, Tiantai's people will fight, but I fear the emperors won't appreciate that. Besides, I don't think the Huangxi underground could handle our combined energies, said Mu Chen calmly. All the emperors should be meeting soon. If you want to fight, there will be opportunities later. No need to threaten us now and say you will attack our disciples. Chapter 1061. First disciple Mu Chen sounded calm and serene. If they wanted to fight, Tiantai wouldn't back down. Even though he had just said a few sentences, he had exposed Tianlong's people's behavior. So many Zun cultivators had come to fight, and if they did, the Huangxi underground wouldn't hold up. That place was artificial. If it broke, all the energies of the Huangxi would flow in. They threatened to kill Emperor Yu and Emperor Shi's disciples, but they weren't the only ones who had disciples. Mu Chen and Ho Qinglin could also slaughter Tianlong's disciples. That would end in a great war. You killed our protector and came into our territory. How can you explain that? Everybody remained silent until someone asked that. Everybody knew that Emperor Tianlong and the two emperors didn't like each other. Do you understand anything I just said? Your protector violated the rules and attacked one of our disciples. He had to die. What else do I have to explain? Said Mu Chen coldly. He sounded firm. Tianlong's people looked annoyed as the leader said, "All right, we'll remember that." After that, he looked at the altar and grinded his teeth. Without the altar, how could they go back? Tianlong's people moved towards Mu Chen and said coldly, "Move away." Mu Chen smiled in a resplendent way. Ho Qinglin and Lin Feng moved aside too. Tianlong had to repair the altar. They didn't need long though. At that moment, Tiantai's people approached Mu Chen and said, "Beware of Tianlong's people in the future. They won't easily forget today." Understood. Everyone nodded. "Let's go," said Mu Chen indifferently. Then they left again. The crowd was shivering. Mu Chen was incredible. Mu Chen and the others made their way back to Tiantai. We'll meet again for the graduation ceremony. You can do whatever you want in the meantime, said Mu Chen. I'm going too, said the sadhu with an indifferent smile too. Brother, stay here, I'm going to the other side, said Mu Chen to Ho Qinglin. On one side, there were cultivators of the Tianqi layer. On the other side were cultivators of the Zunqi layer. All right, said Ho Qinglin nodding. Then Mu Chen left. Only Ho Qinglin and Lin Feng were left there. Qiu Yu Xian had joined them too. At that moment, Ho Qinglin smiled at them. Congratulations, brother and sister. You ranked first and second. Lin Feng and Qiu Yu Xian glanced at each other. They were surprised, but smiled. First and second. What a pleasant surprise. Brother, was the ranking made solely on the last exam? Asked Lin Feng. Ho Qinglin smiled and said, we decided it that way and you guys came out first, so you ranked first and second. That's our final decision. Lin Feng and Qiu Yu Xian smiled wryly. He likes us, thought Qiu Yu Xian looking at Lin Feng. Nobody could refute their decision anyway. Brother, don't you think other people will get angry because the ranking isn't based on strength? Asked Lin Feng. Tian level cultivators are still growing, no matter your level or power at this time. That's not important for Tian level cultivators. When you become Zun cultivators, strength becomes more important. Ho Qinglin said smiling. Besides, there are no fair rules in our world. In any case, you finished first at the first exam and now you came out first in this exam, you're good. Lin Feng smiled. Indeed, Tian level were still growing up. In the eyes of emperors, no Tian level cultivator was strong anyways. You're second, you don't mind, right? Said Ho Qinglin smiling at Qiu Yu Xian. I don't of course, said Qiu Yu Xian with a resplendent smile. She admired Ho Qinglin. He was only 50 years old according to rumors, yet he was stronger than most of the cultivators of the Qiu clan. Ho Qinglin was famous. You're a couple, so if you want to be first and second, you can argue that amongst yourselves anyways, said Ho Qinglin laughing. Qiu Yu Xian and Lin Feng were surprised. Ho Qinglin also liked to joke. By the way, I wanted to ask something, said Lin Feng suddenly. I know what you're thinking, said Ho Qinglin. He smiled and said, Lin Feng, you always rely on yourself. You don't owe me or anyone else anything. There's an origin, but it's not because of you. When you break through to the Zunqi layer, he will come and talk to you. An origin, but not because of me? Lin Feng still didn't understand, so he said, I understand, I will continue to become stronger. Good, said Ho Qinglin smiling. He shook his hand and medals appeared. Made with pure qi, said Ho Qinglin. 2 medals appeared, one with Lin Feng's name and one with Qiu Yu Xian's name. They were officially Imperial Cultivation disciples. All right, let's wait for the others, said Ho Qinglin sitting down cross-legged on a cloud. Lin Feng and Qiu Yu Xian said nothing. They talked and waited. One day later, the third person came out. Lin Feng recognized him. It was Lin Ruotian. He was surprised to see Lin Feng and Qiu Yu Xian already there. Too bad he hadn't ranked first. Chapter 1062, where Shen Yuan. I used all my strength to kill 70 people, but Qiu Yu Xian and Lin Feng are there together, so they must have killed 110 people. I don't know who helped whom, thought Lin Ruotian. In the past, he would have thought that Qiu Yu Xian would have helped Lin Feng, but then he had seen how strong Lin Feng was. He didn't dare underestimate him even though he had only broken through to the 4th Tianqi layer. With the strength of the 4th Tianqi layer, he had managed to climb up all the groups of steps. He had also easily defeated Yang Zilan at the same cultivation level. Lin Ruotian sat down. You're monstrously strong, Lin Feng. Where are you from? Asked Lin Ruotian as if he was trying to befriend Lin Feng. I come from a country very, very far from Ba Huang province. I can't compete with you, brother Ruotian, said Lin Feng smiling calmly. Very far, whispered Lin Ruotian. He smiled and said, Yang Zilan and his sister despised you, but they're really ridiculous. They think they're superior because of their social status, but in fact, they can't compete with you in the slightest. Lin Feng smiled. He didn't know why Lin Ruotian was saying those things. Coming from a rich and prestigious family is a good thing though, said Lin Feng calmly. So what? You ranked first and on top of that Miss Chiu likes you. You became an imperial cultivation disciple, so now, if you have another social status, you will be able to ask for her hand officially. Another social status? Whispered Lin Feng. He looked at Lin Ruotian and said, I became an imperial cultivation disciple, that's a social status. What's the other social status I could get? If you want, brother, you could become a member of the Lin clan, we have the same name after all. You could ask for her hand using that social status too. Lin Ruotian thought that because Lin Feng came from a very far country, he had come alone. There were many people like Lin Feng in Ba Huang province, so people needed a powerful background and walk around the Ba Huang province. Otherwise, other people could bully them. He was offering protection for Lin Feng. Lin Feng laughed, having now understood. Lin Ruotian wanted Lin Feng to become a member of the Lin clan. He wanted to help Lin Feng to become his brother. The Lin clan would also protect him. Apart from their blood, he would be an authentic member of the clan. Thank you, brother, but I prefer relying on myself, said Lin Feng smiling. Lin Ruotian looked disappointed and said, You are an ambitious person. Even if we don't become real brothers, I'm happy to be your friend. I'm happy too, said Lin Feng. Lin Ruotian was nice. He was strong too and came from a rich family. Lin Feng was happy to make new friends anyways. Lin Ruotian smiled and nodded. He didn't say anything more. Sign it, said Ho Qing Lin, giving a medal to Lin Ruotian. Lin Ruotian carved his name in the medal. The fourth one arrived soon after. Lin Feng didn't recognize that person, but Lin Ruotian did. That was a disciple from a rich family from the south of Ba Huang. People continued arriving while Lin Feng and Chiu Yuxin were calmly sitting on the edge of Tiantai. They didn't mind other people's ranking. It had nothing to do with them. However, Lin Feng was wondering if Xian Yuan would even make it back. The sadhu was quietly observing there too. They were happy because if they had come back, it meant they were imperial cultivation disciples and they would all become brothers and sisters. In the future, they would have higher social statuses within their own clan. The world of prestigious and rich families was complex and their members all wanted to be the best. 1 month passed and in Tiantai, 78 people had made it out. Only 3 spots were left. The crowd was excited. Many people had passed the exam on the flight of stairs, so 81 people shouldn't be a problem. Has anyone seen Xian Yuan? Asked someone at that moment. They realized that Xian Yuan wasn't amongst the 78 people. Oh right, where is he? Said someone else. Where was he? He had always said he'd rank first. I saw him in the Huang Sea underground. Someone was chasing him. I don't know where he is now though. Said someone else. The crowd was surprised. What? Someone was chasing him? Are you sure? Right, Xian Yuan is very strong. Who was chasing him? Many people started talking about him. I saw him with my own eyes. He was furious. He was bleeding and his hair was messy. Someone very strong was chasing him and laughing and talking about a great ape emperor. He was scaring Xian Yuan with his voice alone. Said that person. Everybody was surprised. What a tragedy for Xian Yuan. Someone was scaring Xian Yuan with just his voice? The great ape emperor? 3 more people can qualify. If Xian Yuan isn't part of them, then he will have to try again, whispered someone. The crowd remained silent. You're wrong. Only 1 more person is left, said Lin Ruotian. 1 person? You forgot someone, said Lin Ruotian. Forgot someone? The crowd was wondering what he meant. They then thought about someone who had defeated Xian Yuan at the same cultivation level. Where's Lin Feng? There, with Chiu Yuxin, said Lin Ruotian, pointing at them. They narrowed their eyes and indeed Lin Feng and Chiu Yuxin were at the edge of Tiantai. There were already 80 of them. Chapter 1063, Graduation Ceremony. 1 more person, whispered the crowd. They all looked excited. They wanted to see who would come out last. Bizing, someone came out and it wasn't Xian Yuan. The 81st wasn't Xian Yuan. Xian Yuan wasn't going to become an imperial cultivation disciple. The crowd was astonished. He had always said he'd rank first and in the end, he wasn't going to become an imperial cultivation disciple. Ho Qing Lin appeared again with a medal and said, "Congratulations, you're the last one, so you're qualified. Sign your name." Phew! That person breathed deeply with relief and smiled. He was worried, but he had managed to become an Imperial Cultivation disciple. What a relief! He was excited, but everyone else was astonished. Ho Qing Lin gave him the last medal. It meant that Xian Yuan wasn't going to become an Imperial Cultivation disciple. Alright, the exam is finished. We need to wait for the Zun cultivators to finish their exam. They need 100 days in total, so 40 to 50 more days. You can practice in Tiantai. Wait until the end and the second batch will also be determined, said Ho Qing Lin smiling. The Tian-level cultivators were done. They were so happy and proud to become Imperial Cultivation disciples. The two emperors were rising too and would soon be like the other emperors in Ba Huang province. Everybody nodded. Those who had managed to climb up the first group of steps during the first part of the exam would be part of the second batch. Everybody knew that already. The crowd dispersed. They had a strange feeling, but a good one. Every palace was extraordinary. What a great opportunity this would be. They had all earned their place, so Ho Qing Lin was proud. They had all fought hard. Lin Feng was still sitting on the edge of Tiantai. It was as if the rest of the world had nothing to do with him. He couldn't waste his time. Lin Feng needed to become stronger. He had only broken through to the 4th Tianqi layer. Being an Imperial Cultivation disciple wasn't the most important thing anymore. All of them wanted to become stronger. It was sunny in Tiantai and the air was fresh. It was pleasant afternoon. Lin Feng was sitting cross-legged and lights were flowing around him. He was bathing in extraordinary flames which looked like many small suns. It was as if he was the sun. 7 stars appeared. The sadhu opened his eyes and looked at Lin Feng with a resplendent smile. Sun skill. Lin Feng surprisingly had good skills. He was convinced Lin Feng would quickly become strong. His pure qi was good and he could swallow the power of the sun. As Lin Feng became stronger, his pure sun qi became even more distinct. At that moment, golden flames appeared. They didn't look real though. Is that an illusion created by his godly awareness? The sadhu was surprised at that moment. There were pieces of godly awareness in those flames. It looks like the eternal awareness skill. The sadhu was surprised. Lin Feng's skill looked like a skill Mu Chen used. He could open the earth and sky using it and everything would turn to dust in its path. It could even break people's godly awareness. At that moment, it looked like Lin Feng was practicing such a skill. It was far from being as complete and powerful as when Mu Chen's, but it already had a form. If the sadhu was right, it meant that Lin Feng could use a broken soul technique to break his soul into several pieces. Lin Feng had seen Mu Chen's skill which made everything reduced back to dust in Tianlong's territory, so he felt motivated. What a great feeling, thought Lin Feng. In the past, he used to study the force of the earth and the sky, now he could sense it perfectly. He could have his godly awareness fused together with the earth and sky even. No wonder Mu Chen's skill was so powerful. Lin Feng really wanted to do the same. He was pleasantly surprised because he had something to study that he liked. He was still too weak though, he still needed time. Little boy, I can't wait to see you become stronger, thought the sadhu smiling. Lin Feng was young, but he had great natural abilities. He would become a beast in the future. Time passed and the time came for the crowd to gather and receive their certificates. From that day on, they would be Emperor Shi and Emperor Yu Imperial Cultivation disciples. At that moment, there were also many people at the foot of Tiantai. Many people in the crowd had participated to the exam but had failed. Now they still wanted to see the ones who had passed the exam. Who were they and what was their rank? At that moment, energies rolled in the air like clouds and steps appeared, one after the other. Those golden stairs were incredible. A flight of stairs. The time has come. Many people were excited. Finally, the new Imperial Cultivation disciples would receive their certificates. It was the graduation ceremony. Yang Zilan and Yang Ziyi were there too. They had been eliminated by Lin Feng. Back then, they had had the opportunity to become Imperial Cultivation disciples of the second batch, but they had given up and left. They thought being imperial cultivation disciples from the second batch was too shameful. Besides, Xian Yuan had probably ranked first and he would marry Yang Ziyi, so that would be enough of an honor. Chapter 1064, Xian Yuan's Tragedy. The Yang clan, the Qiu clan, the Lin clan, the Meng clan, and many other powerful and influential groups were there. Many of their disciples had participated and they were all excited to see how well they had performed. There were lights everywhere. Tiantai wouldn't be closed and isolated anymore. It would become a new and genuine group of influence in Ba Huang province. People didn't know how long Emperor Shi and Emperor Yu had been emperors, but it had been at most 100 years. Everybody believed they were relatively new emperors, otherwise they would have had imperial cultivation disciples much earlier. Besides, Emperor Shi and Emperor Yu were very secretive. Very few people had seen them personally. People generally only knew that there was a place called Tiantai in Tianjing City and that 2 emperors lived there, but the place used to be closed. Now, it was the graduation ceremony of their new imperial cultivation disciples. Would they show up in person? They are new emperors. They are even stronger than Emperor Tianlong, who has been an emperor for a long time now. I wonder if we will see them today, thought some people, raising their heads. At that moment, a silhouette appeared on the flight of stairs. It was starting, finally. Are those the imperial cultivation disciples from the first batch? Thought the crowd. They were inspecting those people. There was no oppressive strength on the flight of stairs anymore, but they all had lowered their heads. They looked strange. The crowd frowned. That can't. They couldn't be the winners. Those people are probably those who failed the exam, thought the crowd. The group of people walked down the stairs and joined the crowd. Those were the people who had been eliminated. How humiliating. They could only lower their heads and look elsewhere, shamefully. Those people were those who had been eliminated, indeed. Look at those behind them, they must be the real winners, thought the crowd when they saw another group of people appear. There were hundreds of people. They had an imposing appearance and they looked like heroes. However, in that group, there were also some people who were lowering their heads. They are too high, I can't see them clearly, thought the crowd. The flight of stairs was too high. They couldn't see clearly. They could only see silhouettes. They couldn't wait. Very quickly, a cloud appeared. Those people jumped onto that cloud and they appeared in front of the crowd. Where's Ryun? Thought the members of the Lin clan. There's something wrong. There are Zun cultivators and Tian-level cultivators in that group. They shouldn't be mixed like that. Many people didn't understand. At that moment, in the air, the sadhu appeared on a cloud and flew in front of the crowd. He said, smiling, "From today, Emperor Shi and Emperor Yu have 360 imperial cultivation disciples. Congratulations." The sadhu waved and 360 certificates appeared. He said, "Sign your certificates." They all had the same certificate. There was something wrong, thought some people. Hey, where is Xian Yuan? I remember he was the first one to pass the first exam, thought some people. 360 people signed their certificates. How glorious! They were new imperial cultivation disciples. After signing their certificates, they separated into 2 groups, left and right. Then, those 2 groups separated again into groups of 81 people. Lin Ruotian. Meng Ba, he's the one who managed to climb 5 groups of steps, like Xian Yuan. Look, Lin Feng and Qiu Yuexin are together. The crowd was observing those people. They remembered Lin Feng, who had managed to climb the entire 9 groups of steps. 81 people, where are Yang Zilan and Yang Ziyi? Right? And what about Xian Yuan? I see. There are 162 authentic imperial cultivation disciples, divided into Tian level and Zun level ones. The others are part of the second batch. They were probably chosen from the ones who had managed to climb up the first group of steps. Many people understood at that moment. But Yang Zilan and Xian Yuan weren't there. Many people couldn't figure out what had happened. The 162 people of the first batch looked delighted. They were all smiling in a resplendent way. Yuexin is there, as expected, thought one middle-aged man, smiling. Qiu Hao was next to him. She is still with that boy. She even attacked her family because of him. That boy will be a tragedy for us, said Qiu Hao coldly. He wasn't happy for her. She had attacked her family because of Lin Feng, and now Lin Feng was still alive. He was furious when Lin Feng managed to climb up the 9 groups of steps. That boy isn't that bad, otherwise he wouldn't be with you Xin in the first batch of Imperial Cultivation disciples, said the middle-aged man indifferently to Qiu Hao. Not all Imperial Cultivation disciples are that strong, said Qiu Hao coldly. Shut up. You Xin became an Imperial Cultivation disciple, this a good day, shouted 2 old men next to them. Congratulations to all the new Imperial Cultivation disciples of the first batch. Get ready to sign your certificates, said the sadhu smiling. He shook his hand and 81 certificates with the names of the winners appeared. Lin Ruotian, Qiu Yu Xin, Meng Ba, Lin Feng. However, Yang Zilan had been eliminated. What about Xian Yuan? The crowd was surprised. They were now sure that Xian Yuan's name wasn't there. The Yang clan was astonished and staring at the list. Yang Zilan and his sister had been eliminated. Of course they were wearing cloaks with hoods so they wouldn't be seen. They felt too ashamed. They had waited because they wanted to see Xian Yuan, but now they couldn't see his name on the list. Lin Feng, shouted a voice in the distance. You'll die, Lin Feng, shouted that person furiously. His qi was powerful. He looked cruel, hideous and furious. Is that Xian Yuan? What had happened to Xian Yuan? Chapter 1065. Chased by Yuan Fei at that moment, Xian Yuan looked furious. He had always dreamt of ranking first, but Yuan Fei had been chasing him the whole time. He had gone insane and had tried to fight against Yuan Fei, but Yuan Fei had punched him and injured him. He needed 30 days to recover, using medicine on top of that. Recovering in the underground wasn't easy. Injured people there were easy prey. He had almost died a few times. He later insulted Yuan Fei, but he had heard him and punched him again. In the end, he hadn't been able to fight at all. Again, he had to hide and recover. He had almost died a few times again, attacked by other people. Xian Yuan had undergone so many humiliations and hardships. That time he needed 40 to 50 days to recover. In the end, just to get out, he looked for all the people who had attacked him while he was injured and killed them all. After reaching his quota, he came back to Tiantai. But the graduation ceremony had just started. Xian Yuan was infuriated and wanted to kill Lin Feng. What happened to him? And what did Lin Feng do to him? Everybody was surprised. Had Xian Yuan been eliminated? Boom boom. Xian Yuan released a terrifying qi. Xian Yuan, little boy, I've been waiting for you. Why didn't you come out before this? I had promised my brother Lin Feng I would come to see him here. You certainly made us wait, said an extremely loud voice behind Xian Yuan. Xian Yuan trembled after hearing that voice. He turned deathly pale. He didn't look furious anymore, he appeared sick on the contrary. Lin Feng was surprised. Yuan Fei really came. He hadn't thought Yuan Fei would actually come to Tiantai. How had Yuan Fei used the altar of Tiantai as well? Had the protector let him pass? Yuan Fei appeared in the sky. He looked strong and he possessed an explosive power. He was still holding his black wooden stick. When Xian Yuan saw Yuan Fei behind him, he looked terrified, scared to death actually. Xian Yuan could only grind his teeth. Xian Yuan seems to hate him too, thought the crowd. Who was that guy with his black wooden stick? Why did he hate him? Had he been eliminated because of him? Many people had never seen Yuan Fei, so they didn't recognize him. Some people from rich and powerful families saw him and thought about someone they had heard about. Everybody was scared of that person because he had destroyed a powerful clan in one night. You're a bad boy when I'm not around. Do I need to punish you and hit you with my stick again? Said Yuan Fei in a despising way. Xian Yuan grinded his teeth. How had Yuan Fei managed to use their altar? The crowd was surprised to see how Xian Yuan became docile in front of Yuan Fei. Had Xian Yuan been eliminated? What happened? He looked like a mess. And who was that guy with a wooden stick who scared him so badly? Many people were surprised, but after all, it had nothing to do with them. The Yang clan looked furious though. They had been waiting for the day when Xian Yuan would rank first. He would be their glory. However, he didn't look glorious at all at that moment. He looked like a disgraceful mess. He looked like trash. "Be a good boy, or I'll kill you with my stick," shouted Yuan Fei. Xian Yuan said nothing, but felt like he was going to explode or go insane. He didn't leave, he just glanced at Yuan Fei and Lin Feng coldly now and then. He couldn't kill Yuan Fei, but he would definitely kill Lin Feng. He knew that Lin Feng had told Yuan Fei to chase him, otherwise, why would he? He didn't care about him. So if Xian Yuan didn't rank first, who did? Lin Ruotian? Or Meng Ba? Or Qiu Yuexe? Thought the crowd. Xian Yuan had failed because of that guy who looked like an ape, that much was obvious now. Many people looked at the Yang clan. That ape-looking guy also said he came to see his brother. Who is it? "My little Buddhist friend, why are you looking at me? Don't you recognize me?" said Yuan Fei to the sadhu smiling. "Hi, he's so easygoing," thought the sadhu smiling. He seemingly knew Yuan Fei quite well. Qiu Yuexian and Lin Feng were surprised. Did Yuan Fei know the sadhu? Did he come here because he knows him? Thought Lin Feng. "All right, don't disturb us, it's the graduation ceremony," said the sadhu laughing. He of course," said Yuan Fei smiling fatuously. "I want to see my brother's graduation ceremony too." The sadhu was surprised. He knew Yuan Fei, he was the great ape emperor's grandson, but who was he talking about? A golden list was floating in the sky and the sadhu said, "The 81 people, come here. People will see the ranking list too." A golden light appeared and surrounded all the selected candidates. Numbers appeared slowly. Ruotian, third. The Lin clan was satisfied with Lin Ruotian's result. Good, Yuexen ranked second, thought the Qiu clan. They were satisfied too. "Too bad she fell in love with a piece of trash," said Qiu Hao mockingly. However, at that moment, he found Lin Feng's name in the list, first. His mouth was twitching. Chapter 1066. A Friend from an Island, first. Lin Feng had ranked first. What was the meaning of that? He was a piece of trash. Qiu Hao was dumbstruck as well as many other people. Lin Feng, that young man, the one who has been humiliated by the Yang clan and climbed up the 9 groups of steps. Surprisingly, he ranked first. No wonder Qiu Yuexen was furious when people bullied him. Many people were expressing their opinions about Lin Feng having ranked first. Yang Zilan and Yang Zi saw that and were furious as well. They could barely breathe from their anger. "Who is he?" asked an old man to Yang Zilan and Yang Ziyi. They both clenched their teeth. "Grandpa, that's Lin Feng, the one who saved Ziyi and whom Zilan wanted to kill. The one who killed Chou Jun Luo too," said a young man at that moment. "Lin Feng, what a pity. He could have been our friend, but in the end, he became our enemy," said someone else. Yang Zilan and Yang Zi looked even angrier. "Shut up," shouted the old man. Lin Feng had ranked first. That was a humiliation for Yang Zilan and Yang Zi. They had thought Xian Yuan would rank first, but he didn't. Then they became Lin Feng's enemy and he ranked first. "Grandpa, he's strong, he even defeated Xian Yuan at the same cultivation level. He also attacked me and I lost because he attacked me." "Hiss," said Yang Zilan to the old man. "That's enough," said the old man. He clearly understood. Lin Feng had defeated Xian Yuan at the same cultivation level and had become the Yang clan's enemy. They had to kill him at all costs. Yang Zilan. Many people looked at them. Xian Yuan had said he'd rank first and marry Yang Zi. However, Lin Feng had been humiliated by the Yang clan and things had changed. Lin Feng ranked first. Yang Zilan's cheeks were burning. Everybody was looking at him mockingly now. He used to insult Lin Feng and say he was a nobody, an insect. Now Lin Feng looked down on him. How uncomfortable. "Grandpa, let's leave," said Yang Zilan at that moment. "What? Stop being a coward," said the old man coldly. "Let's see how your big brother, Yang Zhan, ranked amongst Zun-level cultivators." His grandfather's favorite grandson was Yang Zhan. Yang Zhan was the strongest cultivator of the same generation. At that moment, Lin Feng could see that many people were looking at him. He looked calm and serene. He didn't act proud at all. He still had a long ways to go. This was just the beginning. He needed to explore the real world. "Congratulations again." Go back to your seats now, said the sadhu to the crowd. It was the Zune cultivators' turn. They looked proud, strong, glorious, dignified. The Zune cultivators' goal was to become emperors. They were more dignified than Tian-level cultivators. The first Zune cultivator had gray clothes. He seemed to be 30 to 40 years old and his chi was quite ordinary. He didn't belong to any rich family and nobody knew him. Surprisingly, the first cultivator amongst Zune cultivators is not from a rich and powerful family, thought the crowd. First, Lin Feng amongst Tian-level cultivators, and now this person. If he hadn't climbed up the 9 groups of steps, nobody would have recognized Lin Feng. The first Zune cultivator must be extremely strong, thought the crowd. Lin Feng was surprised when he saw him though. It's him! Lin Feng was astonished. He had seen that guy before. On the island in the middle of the Huang Sea, he had seen a sword cultivators who practiced cultivation. That person understood desolate chi and abstruse desolate chi. What a coincidence, thought Lin Feng smiling. Back then on the island, they hadn't talked at all, a Tian-level cultivator and a Zune-level cultivator, practicing cultivation on the same remote island, nobody else would believe it. What a coincidence in such a big world. Yang Zhan ranked 3rd. The Yang clan was happy about that. Yang Zilan and Yang Ziyi felt ashamed. No need to mention Yang Ziyi and Shen Yuan's wedding, what a joke. At least, Yang Zhan repaired the damage a little. The second was a member of the Meng clan. At least, the crowd still thought that being from a rich and powerful family helped. Apart from Lin Feng and the first Zune cultivator, the second and third, amongst both Tian-level and Zune cultivators, were from rich and powerful families. The Zune cultivators moved back to their seats. Then, Mu Chen, Ho Qing Lin and some strangers came to the front. 8 people and their chi was extraordinary. The sadhu joined them too. 9 people. 9 people, according to legends, Emperor Shi and Emperor Yu have 9 direct disciples. Are they these people? Thought the crowd. They had to be. At that moment, they looked solemn and respectful. They were calmly standing in the sky. With the 18,000 dazzling steps, the atmosphere was mystical. Are the emperors going to come out? Thought the crowd. Their hearts started racing. 360 people, 81 members in the first batch, 9 direct disciples, they all looked serious and respectful. Were the emperors going to show up? Chapter 1067. 8 Dragon Chants. The stairs were dazzling. The emperors are probably going to show up. It's their event after all, thought the crowd. Their hearts were racing, their eyes were twinkling. At that moment, an illusion appeared. Illusions, the emperors. Even if they show up as illusions, it's still incredible, thought the crowd. Emperors were emperors. People admired them. An old man appeared and he was smiling. He looked like an ordinary old man, but his chi was incredible. He had a gray beard. There's only one person, is that Emperor Shi or Emperor Yu? Wondered the crowd. Congratulations and welcome. All the emperor's direct disciples were bowing. To prove it was the emperor. The imperial cultivation disciples bowed too. Thank you, teacher. Hello, emperor. At that moment, many people bowed. Thank you for your kindness, everyone, said the emperor in a gentle way. The emperor was nice to them. What a great feeling. Everybody remained silent. It was as if the world around them didn't exist anymore, only the emperor did. Emperor Shi and I organized this event. It is an honor for us to have found such incredible disciples. Emperor Shi couldn't make it, so I represent the both of us. From now on, Tiantai will be open and everyone is welcome, said Emperor Yu calmly. The crowd finally knew who it was. He seemed sympathetic and easygoing. That's Emperor Yu, whispered people. People like Yang Zilan or Shen Yuan always acted proud and arrogant, and the emperor was so simple. No wonder Mu Chen and Ho Qing Lin were so outstanding. Congratulations, Emperor Yu, for having found these disciples. Please accept this black gold jewel as a gift, said an old man of the Yang clan at that moment. He rose up in the air and bowed. Black gold, that's such an expensive and precious gift. The crowd was astonished. It was so hard that only extremely strong cultivators could break black gold and make jewels out of it. They're smart. In the eyes of an emperor, it's not that great of a gift, but it still shows they respect him. Thought many people. The Yang clan was trying to make friends with the emperor. Thank you, give it to the first disciple of the Tianqi layer, maybe he will need it in the future, said Emperor Yu smiling in a gentle way. To Lin Feng? Yang Zilan and Yang Ziyi looked astonished. They didn't even have such precious treasures, were they going to give it to Lin Feng? Lin Feng kept taking things from them. Of course, master, said the old man respectfully. He wasn't willing to, but nobody noticed his feelings. He looked at Lin Feng and said, little friend, congratulations, that black gold is for you. Lin Feng took it but said nothing at first. It looked like a black meteor. It was very hard. Thank you, mister, said Lin Feng smiling. The feeling was thrilling. He probably didn't want to give it to him at all. The Yang clan is going through hard times, thought the crowd. Yang Zilan and Yang Ziyi were probably furious. The Lin clan also has a gift for you, said the leader of the Lin clan, rising up in the air. The Qiu clan too. The Meng clan too. All the biggest families offered the emperor a gift. Even though they hadn't prepared anything, they didn't lack precious items, so they had to act the same as the Yang clan. The emperor didn't really care though. Thank you, everyone, said Emperor Yu. The sadhu walked forwards and took the items. Slash. Qi rolled in the air in the distance as a boat was coming. There were people in the boat who bowed in front of Emperor Yu. The island of the 9 dragons came to congratulate the emperor too. The island of the 9 dragons are here too. The crowd was incredulous. Even though they were pirates, they were very strong. Many people respected them out of fear. Say thank you to your leader, said Emperor Yu smiling. Take it. The sadhu took all the presents. The pirates bowed in front of the emperor and said, our leader couldn't come today, next time maybe. We'll tell him. We're off. See you. No problem, said Emperor Yu. The pirate looked at the imperial cultivation disciples trying to remember their faces. The island of the 9 dragons. Lin Feng suddenly said, wait. What is it, little friend? Asked the pirate. Lin Feng was at the top of the Tian level cultivators. He was probably very strong. I admire your group. Can I come and pay you a visit sometime? Tell me whenever you want to come, little friend. Take this. It's the chant of the 8 dragons. You can use it to call me, said that person throwing a stone at Lin Feng. Lin Feng seemed to be a strong young man, so of course he was willing to see him again. Thank you so much, master, said Lin Feng, bowing and smiling. Yu and Emoshi were there. He was wondering how they were. He had to go and see them sometime. With the chant of the 8 dragons amulet, it would be much more convenient. See you, said the pirate to Lin Feng. The Yang clan looked at them coldly. They had tried to kill Yang Ziyi. They had yet to get their revenge. After the pirates left, the crowd saw another group of people come. There were people of all sorts of cultivation levels. Who were those people? Tianlong Divine Castle is coming, said a voice in the distance. Chapter 1068, Illusion Strength, Tianlong Divine Castle. The crowd was surprised. Tianlong Divine Castle was coming to Emperor Yu and Emperor Shi's territory. People had heard that they were enemies. The crowd looked at the group of people. There were a few dozen people of all cultivation levels. Zun cultivators of the 1st to the 5th Zunqi layer. People were surprised. What did they want? What was their goal? Mu Chen and Ho Qinglin looked at them. Most people didn't know that Ho Qinglin had gone there and killed their protector. Tianlong Divine Castle remembered though. Tianlong Divine Castle came to congratulate Emperor Yu, said the Tianlong group, bowing politely in front of Emperor Yu. It's rare to see you. I hope your leader is well, said Emperor Yu, looking calm and indifferent. Thank you, we'll pass along your message. We came here with a reason. We have all sorts of cultivators here, from the 1st Tianqi layer to the 5th Zunqi layer. We know it was your recruitment process, so we want to exchange our views on cultivation, said the leader of the group. Everybody was surprised. Even though they were polite, they wanted to fight. It wasn't necessary to say much. Their purpose was clear. All their cultivators were extremely strong. They came to humiliate the emperor. Many people looked furious in Tiantai. It was a happy day for Tiantai, and those people were coming to ruin their event. Emperor Yu smiled in a gentle way. He didn't look furious at all. You can't refuse on such a joyous day. Your new disciples are so talented after all, said that person. He couldn't refuse. Ho Qinglin had come to their territory and killed their protector. Mu Chen had helped him escape. That was a humiliation. Now they had to regain some of their prestige. At that moment, the crowd understood that those people had come to challenge them. Tiantai couldn't refuse, otherwise, they would lose face. If my disciples agree, why not? If they don't, then I'd rather not, said Emperor Yu calmly. All right, we're done with the graduation ceremony. I'm off now. Do as you wish, said Emperor Yu as his silhouette gradually disappeared. He was gone. He didn't care about such trivial things. His disciples were free to decide what they wanted to do. When those people saw Emperor Yu disappear, they frowned and looked at Mu Chen and Ho Qinglin. Your teacher is incredible and so are you. Since I came here, you could choose 2 people for a challenge. We want to learn from you, said that person, annoyed. Let's do it. At that moment, a dozen people spoke at the same time. Their voices contained a powerful qi which rolled in waves towards the imperial cultivation disciples of Tiantai. Those imperial cultivation disciples from Tiantai who were at the front shook. The people from Tianlong were extremely strong, and they wanted to fight. Tianlong Divine Castle's people had come and challenged Tiantai, so Tiantai's people had to fight whether they wanted to or not. It seems like they're really confident, thought the crowd looking Tianlong Divine Castle's people. Tiantai's imperial cultivation disciples had no experience yet for they had just graduated. It would be difficult for Tiantai to put up a fight. Our teacher said it, if they want to fight, they'll fight. Otherwise, they won't. You can't force anyone here, said Mu Chen slowly and as calmly as the emperor, as if nothing could make him angry. Emperor Yu is a senior, he can do whatever he wants. However, it's not the case for your fellow disciples. Could it be that you didn't teach them anything? Said that person coldly. Since the emperor wasn't there anymore, he wasn't hiding his true intentions anymore. He was trying to force them to fight. Who do you think you are? Do you think we'll fight because you want to? Said Ho Qinglin abruptly. He then said, Today is a joyous day for us. You came here to challenge us, so if my fellow disciples want to fight, they will, otherwise they won't. I'll kill anyone who forces people to fight. And today, I won't be merciful. If you injure anyone, I will kill you as well. How aggressive! People's hearts started racing when they heard Ho Qinglin. Tianlong Divine Castle's people had brought very experienced cultivators with them. If they started fighting, Tiantai's weaker and newer disciples would die. They couldn't take that risk. That person frowned, he didn't know what to say. It's a joyous day for your emperor. Fighting is also a method of becoming stronger for new disciples. Please, let's exchange views on cultivation, said Tianlong Divine Castle's people again. Tiantai had no room to refuse. I'm a cultivator of the 3rd Tianqi layer. Like you, let's fight, said someone at that moment. It was an imperial cultivation disciple from the first batch. He was pointing at someone of the same level in Tianlong Divine Castle's group. Very good, said that person coming out and releasing an incredible qi. He immediately attacked, not respecting his opponent. Die, shouted that person coldly. A hand appeared in the sky and moved towards the cultivator from Tiantai. Piss off, shouted the cultivator from Tiantai as he punched the air to block the attack. Die. The attacker's hand streaked across the sky and drew a cross which was filled with a powerful qi. The Tiantai cultivator sensed that something was wrong and moved backwards. Die. The cross dazzled and the cultivator from Tiantai could barely breathe. Empty space energy. The crowd was surprised. A cultivator of the 3rd Tianqi layer could use empty space spells. Piss off, shouted the cultivator from Tiantai. He was furious. He raised his hands and blocked the cross attack. Do you think you can block illusions? Said the cultivator from Tianlong coldly. The cross shook the sky and pierced through the body of the cultivator from Tiantai. Illusion strength. The crowd was astonished. The cultivator from Tiantai was going to lose. It was difficult at that point. Piss off. The cross pierced through his body. It seemed like he was going to explode. At the same time, the attacker's hand crashed onto his chest and made him fly away. Emperor Shi and Emperor Yu's disciples can't be so trashy, right? Said Tianlong's cultivator mockingly. Chapter 1069. Wait. As expected, Tianlong Divine Castle's cultivators came here to humiliate Tiantai, thought the crowd. Tianlong's cultivator of the third Tianqi layer could use illusion spells. That was very rare. Few people chose to learn illusion spells, and amongst those who did, those who truly understood them were rare. If a cultivator managed to imprison someone in an illusion spell, it was a lot easier for them to kill them. Tiantai's people were furious when they heard him making fun of them, especially the one who had just lost. Emperor Shi and Emperor Yu had just recruited imperial cultivation disciples and people came to challenge them. It was only to humiliate the two emperors. Mu Chen, Ho Qing Lin, the other direct disciples and Lin Feng were furious. Those people had come to get their revenge, and those who had come were all quite strong. Shut up, shouted the leader from the Tianlong Divine Castle to the cultivator of the third Tianqi layer. He sounded furious. We came here to exchange views on cultivation. You just won one battle and you think you can be proud because of that? The emperor's disciples are extremely strong, so do you think you could defeat cultivators of higher levels? You have nothing to be proud of, you should be preparing yourself for the next battles. Is he being honest or not? Thought the crowd. Was he serious? The two emperor's disciples were actually really strong, it was just that Tianlong Divine Castle had brought some of their strongest disciples there. I'll try, said someone indifferently at that moment. People were surprised when they saw him. Lin Ruotian, I ranked third, said Lin Ruotian. Could he win? Even though Tianlong Divine Castle had brought extremely strong disciples, Lin Ruotian was a genius from a rich and prestigious family. 7th Tianqi layer, I'm your opponent, said someone on the side of Tianlong Divine Castle. That cultivator had also broken through to the 7th Tianqi layer and was smiling in a despising way. The two emperor's disciples had just been selected, they couldn't be as strong as them. Tianlong Divine Castle's disciples had been practicing cultivation and receiving the emperor's teachings for a long time now. All of them had special skills. He has dragon intent and he seems extraordinary, said Mu Chen, flattering the cultivator from the opposite side, but at the same time, he was giving an advice to Lin Ruotian. Lin Ruotian couldn't afford to underestimate his opponent. Tianlong Divine Castle had come to make them lose face. Hee, we have so many cultivators today. It would be great if they could all fight. Also, nobody can be injured today, so no weapons or spirits, said the leader of Tianlong Divine Castle with an indifferent smile. All right, said Mu Chen. All those people were extraordinarily strong. Their spirits had to be extremely powerful too. By imposing those rules, they were going to prove how strong they were without spirits and weapons. They could win and show that Tiantai's people were weak. The challengers couldn't say much either, but nod and obey. Let's see how weak you are. Be careful when I punch you, I don't want to crush you in one punch and kill you. The two emperors would be angry and would have to protect their little babies, otherwise, said that person mockingly. Don't go too hard on him, they said they didn't want anyone to get injured, said someone from the side of Tianlong mockingly. By making fun of the disciples, they were also making fun of the two emperors. Don't humiliate the emperors, said Ho Qing Lin coldly. He jumped forwards and landed in front of the people from Tianlong Divine Castle and said, since you're talking that way, let's fight for real with blood. I Ho Qing Lin am a cultivator of the 5th Zunqi layer. All your Zun level cultivators, from the 1st to the 5th Zunqi layer, come and fight me together. As soon as he said that, Ho Qing Lin released very oppressive energy which surrounded the entire crowd from Tianlong Divine Castle. They all looked at the reincarnation energies, they could barely breathe. The leader from the group from Tianlong said, Brother Ho, what is the meaning of this? We came to exchange views on cultivation, these are ordinary Tianlong Divine Castle's cultivators, they can't fight against you obviously. Is that so? I killed the protector of your altar, you think I believe you if you tell me you came with ordinary disciples? I'm not that stupid, said Ho Qing Lin impolitely. He didn't care anymore. Those people wouldn't stop humiliating them. Ho Qing Lin went to Tianlong Divine Castle and killed a Zun cultivator there. Incredible. No wonder they came from so far to get their revenge. When everyone heard Ho Qing Lin, they understood. Besides, when the other said he had just brought ordinary cultivators, that was ridiculous. A cultivator of the third Tianqi layer who could cast illusion spells, was that ordinary? Today is the graduation ceremony, you have responsibilities here. Do you think you can act impolitely? Said that person coldly. I'm polite to friends, I needn't show any respect to people who harbor evil intentions. Since you decided to harass my ordinary disciples, we're off, said that person coldly. The atmosphere was very oppressive. Tianlong's people looked at the cultivators from Tiantai in a despising way. Unfortunately, we wanted to exchange views on cultivation, but it seems that Tiantai's new imperial cultivation disciples are not that good after all. We'll meet at the emperor's meeting soon. See you, said that person mockingly. The other members of Tianlong Divine Castle also looked at them with disdain. See you all, Tiantai's geniuses, said the crowd mockingly laughing. You let them insult you and leave? You're less and less responsive, Mu Chen, said Yuan Fei. Wait. Two people said that. People from Tianlong Divine Castle turned around and smiled at the crowd from Tiantai. They were surprised and impatient to hear the rest. The first of the Tian-level disciples and the first of the Zun-level disciples had talked at the same time. Lin Feng smiled wryly and scratched his head. He flew next to the one he had seen on the island in the middle of the Huang Sea. They nodded at each other. He recognized Lin Feng too. Lin Feng had been observing him when he was practicing cultivation on the island. He had, of course, sensed Lin Feng's presence. It's just that he didn't really care. He hadn't thought he'd meet Lin Feng again, and even less suspected that they would both become imperial cultivation disciples and rank first in their respective categories. Mu Chen smiled. Lin Feng had defeated Xian Yuan in the illusion, and concerning that cultivator of the Zunqi layer, Mu Chen was the one who had found him and invited him to apply to become an imperial cultivation disciple, so he knew how strong he was. If they both agreed to fight, the results would be great. Chapter 1070, Battle to Death. You should call me Uncle Mu, said Mu Chen to Yuan Fei. Mu Chen was friends with Yuan Fei's father. Yuan Fei and his father had a similar personality. When the cultivators from Tianlong Divine Castle heard Lin Feng and the cultivator in gray clothes, they turned around and smiled. You two must have ranked first. It's no wonder you want to teach us things about cultivation. We wouldn't say we have something to teach you. You came with some of the most outstanding disciples of Tianlong Divine Castle. They all have plenty of experience. We just became imperial cultivation disciples and we haven't received our teacher's teachings yet. How could we compare? Therefore, we would like you to teach us some things, said Lin Feng slowly. The leader of the group from Tianlong Divine Castle had humiliated them, so now Lin Feng was flattering them. By saying that they were stronger and that Tiantai's disciples couldn't compete with them, it meant that if Tiantai's cultivators lost, it would be normal. If cultivators from Tianlong Divine Castle lost, then it would be a disgrace. I've heard about how great you are. Tianlong Divine Castle is very strong and powerful. Even though we ranked first, we still haven't received any teachings. Relying solely on cultivation, we can't compete with you. However, as far as I'm concerned, I'm always motivated to become stronger and would be honored if Tianlong Divine Castle could teach me something. I, of course, cherish such opportunities, said the cultivator in gray clothes, doing the same as Lin Feng. Both Lin Feng and him couldn't stand hearing other people humiliate Tiantai. After all, they were imperial cultivation disciples now. Besides, the cultivator in gray clothes had ranked first amongst cultivators of the Zunqi layer. He had to fight. When Mu Chen heard them, he smiled in a resplendent way. He felt grateful. The disciples who had ranked first definitely deserved to be imperial cultivation disciples. Fourth Tianqi layer, he's mine, said someone at that moment on the side of Tianlong Divine Castle, pointing at Lin Feng. He had, like Lin Feng, broken through to the fourth Tianqi layer. Fourth Zunqi layer, we were meant to meet and exchange views on cultivation, said a cultivator of the 4th Zunqi layer on the side of Tianlong Divine Castle. The expression in his eyes looked sharp. It seemed like his eyes could pierce through people's skin. He looked particularly evil too. Lin Feng and the cultivator in gray clothes were right. Those challengers were extremely strong. They were the best. Therefore, they couldn't be scared of fighting against new imperial cultivation disciples, even if they had ranked first. Hee, no need to flatter each other like that. No matter who wins, everybody will learn something, said the leader of the group from Tianlong Divine Castle. However, he hoped his group would win all the battles. All right, said Mu Qin. When it came to Lin Feng and the cultivator in the gray clothes, he was confident, especially about the cultivator in gray clothes whom he had recruited himself. He knew he was monstrously strong. Concerning Lin Feng, if he could win, that would be great. If he lost, no problems either. In any case, Lin Feng would learn some things about cultivation. So, fight, said the leader from Tianlong Divine Castle with a cold smile. He wanted his disciples to win both battles. He wanted to humiliate them as much as possible. Something else, said the cultivator in gray clothes. His opponent, the other cultivator of the 4th Zunqi layer, frowned and said, "If you want to fight, let's fight, otherwise bugger off. No need to waste time talking. We're going to exchange views on cultivation, but since we can't control our strength and that blood will be shed, this will be a life and death battle," said the cultivator in gray clothes indifferently. The crowd was surprised. Life and death? He was very confident in himself. I wonder how he can act that way. Why take such risks? Tianlong Divine Castle's people are incredibly strong, thought the crowd, curiously. My brother is right. Everyone will learn even more if it's a battle to death. I don't think the teachers would mind, said Lin Feng with a resplendent smile. Yuan Fei was right. If Tianlong's people wanted to fight that bad, they would risk their life for these battles. Everybody was surprised, including the people from Tiantai. However, they suddenly looked proud and dignified. A moment before, Tianlong Divine Castle had humiliated them. Now they felt stronger again, as if their integrity had been preserved. All right, indeed, everybody will love that, said Ho Qinglin. I agree too, said Mu Qin. The group from Tianlong Divine Castle smiled and they all said, very good, we agree, start the battles to death then. The cultivator of the Zunqi layer didn't waste time and immediately released energies which moved towards the cultivator in gray clothes. Come and experience what dying feels like. You're so impatient, I'll show you then, said the cultivator in gray clothes, jumping forwards and releasing sharp sword energies. Try not to humiliate yourself, said the opponent, destroying the sword energies with the blink of an eye. The cultivator in gray clothes didn't move. His hands streaked across the sky while whistling sounds spread in the air. It sounded like there were many swords streaking across the sky. His fingers were as sharp and dazzling as swords. Poor skill, said that person punching the air. A fist appeared and waves of energies rolled in the air around it. The sword energies kept disappearing. They couldn't get anywhere near him. All of a sudden, a gray dragon appeared, but sword chi crashed onto it as the cultivator in the gray clothes didn't stop. His sword lacerated the sky. It was not a skill or technique, it was just a pure sword attack. The cultivator from Tianlong Divine Castle continued punching the air. His punches roared like dragons. His terrifying strength was distorting the atmosphere. He joined his hands and dazzling golden lights appeared. A ferocious-looking dragon appeared inside. According to legends, Emperor Tianlong can use dragons to attack. He can also transform into a dragon himself. That person also uses dragon energies. He must be a high-ranking disciple. The crowd was staring at the dragon. 2 golden balls of light appeared and were growing larger. Then, they moved towards the cultivator from Tiantai. Die! The golden lights condensed. 2 gigantic golden claws appeared next to the cultivator in gray clothes. They were going to shred him into pieces. However, the cultivator in gray clothes looked calm. His lips moved as if he wanted to say something, but instead, a sword came out of his mouth. It was a black sword, a deadly black sword. Boom boom. As the sword came out of his mouth, the atmosphere started trembling. The golden claws continued twinkling, but couldn't move forwards. It seemed like they were faltering. Chapter 1071. Death is in the air. People from Tianlong Divine Castle were surprised. The cultivator in gray clothes had managed to block the attack. "Break!" shouted the opponent furiously. The golden dragon roared furiously and strength dashed to the skies. An infinite amount of golden energies flooded towards the energies which were blocking the golden claws. "Destroy," said the cultivator in gray clothes. In a flash, the sword he was using to constrict the claws buzzed and trembled. Sword chi became even more prevalent as the golden claws started shaking violently. Finally, they broke apart and turned into ashes, dispersing in the air. "How strong? That sword isn't a sharp weapon. What is it exactly? It's scary." "Dragon's 9 earthquakes," said the strong cultivator from Tianlong Divine Castle. The dragon started roaring and a loud sound spread in the air, as if there was an earthquake. "Another powerful attack. The sword is even shaking now. I bet it can't block the attack anymore," thought the crowd. The sword shook. The cultivator in gray clothes jumped forwards with his sword in his hand. Terrifying buzzing sounds continued, making everything shake around them. The cultivator in gray clothes threw himself at the strong cultivator from Tianlong Divine Castle with his sword. "Die!" said that person furiously. His dragon roared a third time. This time the atmosphere was completely distorted as fissures appeared in the ground and even a crater appeared. If that cultivator really mastered the skill, he would be able to destroy an entire empire. The cultivator in gray clothes would have had no chance at all. "Eternal desolation," said the cultivator in gray clothes at that moment. Desolate chi dashed to the skies and it smelt like death. Even though people were far away watching, they suddenly started growing older from the desolate chi. What's going on? Everybody was astonished. They were growing old? Were they going to die just from watching the fight? Timeless strength. How terrifying. The crowd was in disbelief. He understood timeless abstruse energies and could make them grow old. The scariest part was that the cultivator in gray clothes wasn't aiming at them, but at his opponent. The crowd looked at the cultivator from Tianlong Divine Castle. His energies were fading and he looked to be growing older. It was as if time had started passing a lot faster all of a sudden. He suddenly looked terrified. Boom, boom, boom. Swords started falling from the sky as if it were raining swords. The strong cultivator from Tianlong Divine Castle was suddenly surrounded by those swords, unable to move. Slash. He started coughing blood. His blood splashed on his dragon claw. "Fourth roar," he said while coughing blood. However, the cultivator in gray clothes was slowly walking towards him. After each of his steps, it seemed like he was condensing more force. His timeless energies were becoming even thicker. The facial expression of the strong cultivator from Tianlong Divine Castle turned deathly pale. His chi was fading and his hair had started turning white. "Rise!" shouted the cultivator in gray clothes. All his swords started pointing at the cultivator from Tianlong Divine Castle. His chi was chaotic and he couldn't control his strength anymore. What was that strange sensation? "Die!" said the cultivator in gray clothes with his swords pointing at his target. "Move away!" shouted someone in the distance. However, the desolate chi was too thick. He was becoming old very quickly and the sword chi was slowly piercing through his body. He started bleeding everywhere and clothes were soaked in blood. He was slowly losing his vitality, his life. The crowd was astonished and their hearts were racing. How strong! The desolate energy coupled with his sword skills were a deadly combination. The dragon was still roaring, but it was useless. Then, the swords pierced completely through his body and he died. The people from Tianlong Divine Castle looked furious. They had lost. On top of that, a cultivator of the 4th Zun Chi layer had died. No wonder those disciples from Tianlong Divine Castle feel so proud. "You have some real geniuses. I wouldn't have thought he'd be able to resist for so long," said the cultivator in gray clothes indifferently, glancing at the people from Tianlong Divine Castle. Then he turned around and walked back. His voice was painfully piercing through those people's eardrums. He killed one of them and then complimented them. How humiliating! At the same time they sighed. He was really strong and quite merciless. Emperor Sure, an emperor, you had recruited an actual genius. Only a real genius could release desolate chi and understand eternal abstruse energies. He would become as strong as Ho Ching Lin in the future. Second battle, said the leader of the group from Tianlong Divine Castle. He didn't say anything superfluous. They had lost, it was useless to say anything more about it. They had to strive and win the second battle. This time, we have to win, he said to the cultivator of the fourth Tianqi layer using telepathy. If they lost, that would be a humiliation, and on top of that, they would have wasted their time traveling there. Don't worry. I will, replied the cultivator of the fourth Tianqi layer. He walked forwards and released deadly energies. He seemed determined to win. Lin Feng looked calm and indifferent. He jumped forwards, unaffected by those deadly energies. Boom! Without saying anything, the opponent punched the air in Lin Feng's direction. It contained pure physical strength. His fist was as hard as steel. Lin Feng raised his hands, he looked fearless. His enemy's fist contained an incredible strength, but Lin Feng was completely unaffected. Gotcha! The two fists collided. They both sensed how strong they were. It was as if two golden statues had collided. They both took a few steps back after the exchange. The opponent looked at Lin Feng, who seemed completely indifferent after their exchange. Golden lights started glowing in the opponent's bones. It looked like dragon strength. They all have dragon strength? Thought the crowd. Lin Feng's opponent was turning into a dragon. Chapter 1072, Challenger's Spirit. Is he turning into a dragon? The crowd looked at the cultivator from Tianlong Divine Castle. His body was currently surrounded by dragon lights. His hands and feet were metamorphosing first. After that, his body started metamorphosing as well. It must be a half transformation, as expected. Tianlong Divine Castle's people learn dragon skills, thought the crowd. According to legends, dragon strength packed a punch. They couldn't wait to see how powerful his dragon skills were. I wanted to play with you slowly at first, but your friends just killed my brother, so I will kill you quickly to avenge him, said that cultivator with his dragon eyes staring at Lin Feng. I'm waiting then, said Lin Feng. He was standing in the air with his clothes were fluttering in the wind. Since you want to die, I'll kill you quickly, said the cultivator with a dragon voice. He rose up in the air very quickly. He seemed very strong. One of his punches could probably destroy a mountain range. Lin Feng's fist started glowing with golden and black lights. People started wondering what kind of strength that was. Lin Feng moved and punched his opponent's fist. A very loud metallic sound spread in the air. The energy released by the collision created an earthquake. The golden lights were dazzling to the eyes. A huge fissure appeared in the ground just below where they had exchanged blows. How incredible! Those cultivators of the fourth Tianqi layer are so strong, thought the crowd. Many cultivators at the fifth and sixth Tianqi layer were thinking that they might not be able to fight against those two. However, the two fighters in the sky seemed like they didn't know what pain was. Golden lights and bestial chi dashed to the skies. His metamorphosis again, it's not finished. Maybe in the end, Lin Feng won't be able to resist him anymore, thought the crowd. It was as if Lin Feng and his opponent had completely forgotten to use skills and techniques. They were just using pure physical strength at that moment. You're strong, but that's all I know, said the cultivator from Tianlong Divine Castle coldly. Each time he punched Lin Feng, the crowd noticed his dragon form was becoming even more distinct, and he was also becoming even stronger. Could he turn into a real dragon? Lin Feng was calm and serene. He just ignored his opponent's words. The sun was shining upon his body and everything around him was turning into flames. Lin Feng was suddenly bathing in flames and fire energies dashed to the skies and surrounded his enemy. Fire strength, you can't kill me with fire. Don't you know what bestial strength is? Said the cultivator from Tianlong coldly. Many people inspected the battle from inside the fire using their awareness. However, the fire was still too great. If they put their awareness inside, they could die. Even though some people could actually do it without any risk, they decided not to. Deviousness, you're about to bring about your own destruction, said the cultivator from Tianlong Divine Castle coldly. He jumped out of the fire. He had already almost completely turned into a beast by now. He opened his third eye and bestial energies poured out. Roar! He turned into a real dragon and threw himself at Lin Feng. I'm not the only one who can open my bestial consciousness, thought Lin Feng smiling. You're not the only one who has a bestial consciousness, said Lin Feng to him using telepathy. He also opened his third eye. Boom! The enemy's heart twitched. What? Lin Feng also had a bestial consciousness. Was his bestial strength powerful or not? His thoughts were suddenly chaotic. He hadn't thought about that. Lin Feng released qi using his own bestial consciousness. What? He wasn't releasing bestial energy, he was releasing desolate qi. It was the energy of decay. However, the enemy didn't have more than a millisecond to react. Desolate qi was suddenly dashing to the skies and had surrounded him. Pure sun qi emitted crackling sounds in the air as Lin Feng recalled his desolate qi. The crowd was watching the battle in the sky. What was going on? Had they stopped fighting? The atmosphere wasn't shaking anymore, the ground was crackling anymore, there were just a few flames calmly emitting crackling sounds above them. Finally, the fire disappeared and a silhouette appeared. There was only one person left. Lin Feng was there, bathing in his own fire. However, the Tianlong Divine Castle's cultivator wasn't there anymore. After that last roar, he had disappeared. What happened? Thought the crowd. Many people's hearts were pounding violently. Where was he? Such a strong cultivator couldn't disappear without leaving any trace. Of course, people from Tianlong Divine Castle seemed to be furious. 2 battles, 2 defeats. A cultivator of the 4th Zun Qi layer had died stabbed by swords and desolate qi, and the second cultivator, well, nobody knew how he had died. What a tragedy! They had come to humiliate Tiantai and had failed. I always believed you when you said you had sent your most ordinary cultivators. Otherwise, how could you explain how he couldn't withstand a single attack? Even though we haven't received any teachings yet, we still won. I hope that next time you come to exchange views on cultivation, you'll send stronger disciples or at least some who are as strong as us. I don't feel like fighting against these ordinary cultivators, said Lin Feng indifferently. The enemy's mouths were twitching. They were extremely pissed off. As strong as them? Stronger? He didn't feel like fighting them? What could they say? Nothing. Nothing that could save them from further humiliation. They had sent some incredible cultivators and had lost anyway. Chapter 1073. Granddad will teach you a lesson. Emperor Shi and Emperor Yu recruited extraordinary disciples. I have to admit it. We will come back to exchange views on cultivation in the future. Just you wait, said the leader of the group from Tianlong Divine Castle, sounding threatening. Remember to send some people as strong as us or even stronger than. Otherwise, we won't learn anything, replied Lin Feng. Don't worry. Let's go, said the leader of the group. They all glanced at Lin Feng and people from Tiantai, then they turned around and left. All right, see you, said Mu Chen indifferently. He was wondering when they would come back and with whom. All those people from Tianlong disappeared as quickly as they came. Not bad, said Mu Chen to Lin Feng and the cultivator in gray clothes. Both were very talented. Their opponents were terrifyingly strong, had shown incredible battling skills, and yet they had lost. Lin Feng probably hid what he did on purpose during the battle. His opponent didn't even have time to shout, thought the crowd. Lin Feng had incredible battling skills. He had probably used his sun technique just to hide himself. No matter what, it didn't matter anymore. We're done for today. The Imperial Cultivation Disciples, follow me to Tiantai. The first batch of disciples have their own palaces, the second batch will have dormitories, said Mu Chen smiling. The Imperial Cultivation Disciples from the first batch had incredible palaces which contained treasures. Last time, Mu Chen had told them that the emperors built them themselves and that they contained extraordinary treasures. I wonder which palace I will get, thought everyone. Some people looked at Lin Feng. He had climbed up the 9 groups of steps and had come out of the underground world first. He also eliminated Yang Zilan and Yang Ziyi. He defeated Shen Yuan in the illusion. And when Shen Yuan had come out of the Huangxi underground, he wanted to kill Lin Feng. What had Lin Feng done to him? Lin Feng had accomplished many things in that short time. He had also ranked first at the exam, so obviously, he was going to get the best palace. As far as Zun-level cultivators were concerned, the cultivator in gray clothes was going to get the best palace amongst Zun-level cultivators as well. The crowd at the foot of Tiantai was looking at the students with amazement. The students of the first batch were going to get their own palaces. Tiantai was, for many people, a holy grounds. Maybe the emperor who had just appeared before them lived there personally, which meant that people who lived in Tiantai would have opportunities to meet the emperors in person. If they received the emperor's direct teachings, they would soar. After receiving the keys to your palaces, maybe you will want to seclude yourselves to practice. If you have questions, ask them now. We recommend that you don't leave Tiantai for a while. We won't force you to stay, but we recommend you stay to become stronger so that you're ready to fight when you leave, said Mu Chen. Many people were nervous. What Mu Chen was implying was that something was probably going to open, otherwise, why would they need to stay and become even stronger? I'll give you 1 hour to figure out what you are doing, said Mu Chen. Everyone had 1 hour, in case they wanted to talk to their families, clans and so on. Hee hee. Yuan Fei started laughing as he walked towards Lin Feng with his wooden stick in his hand. He laughed and said, "Not bad, buddy. I don't like Emperor Tianlong, he's not a good guy. I never liked him actually." Lin Feng looked at him and rolled his eyes. Yuan Fei was talking about an emperor that way again. He really was fearless. Nobody would ever offend him anyways. Offending the great ape emperor's grandson was the same as offending the emperor himself. When the crowd heard Yuan Fei, they were speechless. Their mouths were wide open even. Tiantai's own people wouldn't dare offend Emperor Tianlong. They didn't like him, but didn't say it openly. After all, he was an emperor. Who's that guy? He scared Shen Yuan to death and now he criticizes an emperor. He calls Lin Feng his brother. Shen Yuan said he wanted to kill Lin Feng, but when that guy came, he didn't say anything more. Everybody guessed that Lin Feng and Yuan Fei were close and that he had helped Lin Feng confront Shen Yuan during the test. Shen Yuan had imperial origins. He had always bragged he'd rank first at the recruitment process and in the end, he had been chased by Yuan Fei and failed. It was normal for him to go insane. Shen Yuan wasn't there anymore and the crowd was wondering where he had gone. He's a cultivator of the 7th Tianqi layer, how can he despise an emperor? Said someone at that moment. Someone from the Qiu clan had said that and they drew people's attention. Qiu Hao's children had almost killed Lin Feng and Qiu Yuxin wanted to avenge Lin Feng. She wanted to kill Qiu Lin and Qiu Mei. Everybody knew that Qiu Hao didn't like Lin Feng. Brother, Qiu Yuxin is a genius from our clan and she's incredibly beautiful. She ranked 2nd at the recruitment process, so she has to marry a genius. Our most important task is to take good care of her and prevent her from making mistakes or bad decisions. We can't let the outside world pollute her. That guy is jealous of Qiu Yuxin and Lin Feng. The crowd understood. Qiu Yuxin had ranked 2nd and Lin Feng had ranked 1st. There were tensions between him and Lin Feng. What a hypocritical little boy. You're a tiny little person, my boy. No need to pretend. If you have anything to say, say it directly. If you continue to act like that, Daddy will have to teach you a lesson, said Yuan Fei pointing at Qiu Hao. Everybody was astonished. Qiu Hao's face turned red. He was insulting Qiu Hao and telling him he'd punish him, like a father would his son. You impolite little boy, watch your words. I'm older than you, said Qiu Hao coldly. Shut the hell up, Qiu Hao, shouted Qiu Hao's father at that moment. When he saw Yuan Fei, he immediately thought of a rumor. Yuan Fei was surprised and smiled in a strange way as he said to Qiu Hao, "You want to become my grandpa?" Chapter 1074. Qiu Hao's difficult times. Qiu Hao glanced at his father. He didn't know why he was shouting at him. He then looked at Yuan Fei, who smiled in a strange way. Even though Yuan Fei was incredibly talented and strong, he was younger than him. How could he act so disrespectful? I'll show you. I can replace your grandfather easily if you want it, replied Xiao Hao coldly. Xiao Hao, shouted his father furiously. Why was his father so upset? He old dude, did you hear that? My grandpa has a bad temper. If he knows what you just said, he wouldn't be happy, said Yuan Fei, smiling fatuously. The old man of the Qiu clan asked, Your Excellency, who is your grandfather? Yuan Fei was sounding more and more like that person. Qiu Hao realized that his father had seemingly thought of someone. No wonder he was upset and didn't want to offend Yuan Fei. His grandfather is an old friend of my teacher's, said Mu Chen, smiling. The crowd was surprised. Mu Chen's teachers, the emperors. An old friend of the emperor's. Everybody understood. The Qiu clan's old man remained silent. He was thinking of someone. His grandfather is the great ape emperor. Uncle said he wanted to replace the great ape emperor, said Qiu Yu Xian indifferently. Qiu Hao's heart started racing. It was Yuan Fei, the great ape emperor's grandson. The great ape emperor. The crowd was speechless. No wonder he had chased Xian Yuan and scared him to death. Xian Yuan was strong and arrogant because he had a little bit of imperial blood, but Yuan Fei's grandfather was a real emperor. Besides, a powerful emperor at that. Should I call my grandfather so that you can tell him what you just said? Said Yuan Fei when he saw that Qiu Hao looked nervous. Qiu Hao was extremely embarrassed. In Ba Huang province, nobody dared despise or humiliate any emperors. But he had just made fun of Yuan Fei's grandfather. Qiu Hao is insolent, please forgive him, said Qiu Yu Xian's grandfather to Yuan Fei, smiling politely. He then stared at Qiu Hao and screamed, Apologize now. Qiu Hao was clenching his fists. Do you want to be expelled from the Qiu clan? Said the old man when he saw that Qiu Hao wasn't reacting. Even though the great ape emperor probably didn't care about ordinary people talking about him, nobody could bully his grandson. If someone offended his grandson, he could simply shout and destroy the Qiu clan in the blink of an eye. Qiu Hao's face turned deathly pale. Qiu Hao, I admit I made a mistake, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to offend you or your grandfather, said Qiu Hao, lowering his head. Yuan Fei didn't even look at him. He looked at Lin Feng and said, I think Lin Feng, who's like a brother to me, and that beautiful woman are a perfect match. You're a bastard for criticizing my brother. We still have yet to see if Lin Feng wants to forgive you or not. Lin Feng again? How can Lin Feng be so lucky? He is talented and beautiful women likes him. Qiu Yu Xian had actually attacked her family for him. Now, the great ape emperor's grandson considered him as a brother. No wonder Xian Yuan had gone through so many hardships because of him. Lin Feng shrugged. Yuan Fei was awesome. He even used his grandfather's name to scare people. No need to pay attention to such people. His own daughter is simply useless and weak. She's just jealous, said Lin Feng indifferently. He didn't even look at Qiu Hao. Qiu Hao was furious. Lin Feng even dared criticize his daughter to humiliate him. You're right. No need to pay attention to such people, said Yuan Fei. He looked at Qiu Hao and said, Piss off now. If you dare act insolent again, I'll break all your teeth with my wooden stick. Qiu Hao lowered his head. He looked furious at that moment. They were both humiliating him, but he couldn't do anything about it. Father, said Qiu Mei at that moment. She wanted to cheer her father up. Shut the hell up, shouted Qiu Hao furiously. Two useless pieces of trash. Father, Lin Feng is too insolent. He even dares criticize the elders. He certainly can't be with you Xin, said Qiu Hao to his father. Qiu Hao, what are you talking about? You tried to kill him in the past, so of course he doesn't respect you. Besides, he's not a bad guy. He's the first imperial cultivation disciple and he's friends with the great ape emperor's grandson. In the future, he will become very powerful. Yu Xin and Lin Feng are a perfect match. As her father, I'm not worried about Yu Xin being with him. Qiu Yu Xian's father smiled indifferently. Many people despised Lin Feng before the recruitment process. Many people said Lin Feng was incompetent and so on. But he proved how strong he was though. He climbed up 9 groups of steps and he ranked first. He was not weaker than many young men from rich and prestigious families. He was the first imperial cultivation disciple, so nobody could criticize him now. The old man remained silent. Chiu Yuxin was the most talented young person in the Chiu clan. She deserved to be treated well and fairly. Most people in the clan attached a lot of importance to Chiu Yuxin. Even if he's a bit talented, so what? He's only broken through to the 4th Tianqi layer, 3 levels weaker than Yuxin. We don't even know if he will continue to become stronger. What you mean is that we should find an old man of the Zunqi layer for Yuxin. Your daughter has broken through to the 6th Tianqi layer. You should have her fight against Lin Feng and we'll see who wins then, said Chiu Yuxin's father mockingly. Lin Feng was an incredible fighter. He would probably become even stronger. Don't talk about my daughter, take care of your own and that'll be enough. Shut the hell up, shouted the old man. Yuxin is young. She can get married in 2 years or so, there's no need to talk about it now. That's right actually, said Chiu Hao smiling. Nobody knew what would happen in the following years. The old man was thoughtful. They would see what Lin Feng became after 2 years. At that moment, the other new imperial cultivation disciples left their families and clans. They had to practice cultivation in Tiantai. Some young people from rich and powerful families had obtained some presents from their families. They had managed to become imperial cultivation disciples, so their families were proud of them. They had to show them how proud they were by offering them precious weapons and skills and techniques. Very quickly, everybody left their families and Mu Chen waved and said, "All right, go back to Tiantai." The new imperial cultivation disciples then went back to Tiantai, to their own palaces. The crowd looked at them and sighed. Those people would become extremely strong in the future, but they had to leave them for now. Of course, people attached more importance to the imperial cultivation disciples of the first batch. They would become even stronger than those of the second batch. The flight of stairs was always there now, so Tiantai wouldn't be isolated from the rest of the world anymore. It had become an authentic imperial group of influence. Chapter 1075. Mystery of the Flight of Stairs. All the palaces were surrounded by mystical energies in Tiantai and celestial qi. Mu Chen went in front of the crowd. He was one of the 9 emperor's direct disciples. Now he had 362 new fellow disciples, half of the first batch, half of the second. Everybody, there's no forbidden place for you in Tiantai. You can go anywhere you wish. However, there are some palaces which can be dangerous for you. You have to be careful because you could die in there. Everybody listened calmly. Mu Chen continued, our teachers are emperors, they usually don't show up. Even though you've become imperial cultivation disciples, whether you can receive their direct teachings or not will be determined by your capacity to study and your progress. It's not because you're in Tiantai that you're going to become incredible cultivators, you have to rely on yourself to study. The path of cultivation isn't easy. The emperors won't get involved in your life either, whether it is related to your family or yourselves. Even if we fight against Tianlong Divine Castle's people, they won't show up. They would only show up if Emperor Tianlong himself showed up. The crowd listened calmly. Emperors were dignified in Ba Huang province. They don't intervene in ordinary people's lives. Some emperors have millions of disciples. Getting involved in each disciple's life was impossible. Unless a disciple drew the emperor's attention, the emperor wouldn't get involved. Therefore, after becoming imperial cultivation disciples, their next goal was to become the emperor's direct disciples. Mu Chen showed palaces on 2 sides and said, there are 18,000 cultivation courtyards. Those at the front have a more concentrated pure qi. You, 362 people, can choose the ones you want yourselves. Therefore, there might be conflicts between you when choosing a place to practice. However, I'm warning you, we're in Tiantai, so there can't be any bloodshed here. Otherwise, you will be considered a rebel and we'll kill you. Roger, brother. Everybody nodded. Even though Mu Chen was talking in a relaxed way, he sounded firm. Ho Qinglin dared go to other people's territories and kill them, and Mu Chen had brought him back afterwards. They could be as aggressive and firm as they wanted. Besides, Ho Qinglin respected Mu Chen a lot. Therefore, everybody obeyed Mu Chen and respected him. He's not that easy to deal with, hee, whispered Yuan Fei to Lin Feng. Lin Feng rolled his eyes. He was fearless. Mu Chen was saying those things with a purpose. Everybody understood that nobody could fight, they were all part of the same group now. It was the same as in Tianqi with the 7 snowy peaks, there was no competition between them. Mu Chen didn't pay attention to Yuan Fei as he brought the disciples to another place. The area seemed endless as it was impossible to count all the palaces. However, Mu Chen had brought them to a specific road where they arrived in front of 81 palaces. The palaces there were the palaces the disciples had seen the last time. These were the palaces where they were going to live. Those palaces were vast and lofty. One of those palaces is going to be mine, thought the crowd. They were impatient to see what there was inside. Brother, said someone at that moment. The crowd saw the sadhu arrive in the air. He shook his hand and a flight of stairs appeared. It was a flight of stairs with 9 groups of 9 steps. That was the last group of steps during the exam. The crowd was surprised. 81 steps divided into 9 groups. You're right, that's the same. The only thing is that you can see it properly now, said Mu Chen smiling. The flight of stairs twinkled and materialized into an actual flight of stairs. The crowd was staring at the flight of stairs wondering what was going to happen. Behind the flight of stairs, some roads appeared which looked like illusions. There was a different world behind each group of steps. The 81 palaces were after the second group of steps. Only those who can make it further than the first group of stairs can get a palace, remembered the crowd. After the 9th one, there were some hidden treasures. Back then you passed that test. You obtained different keys. Thanks to your keys, you can easily reach the level you reached back then and enter a palace to practice cultivation. Those different levels offer different treasures, explained Mu Chen smiling indifferently. Brother, if I only have the key of the second group of steps, will I never have the opportunity to get to the 3rd one? Asked someone. You will. Besides, you can do that anytime. You can go to the 3rd group of steps at any time, to the extent that you can even move to a palace of the 3rd level. You can even move your palace with you. For example, Lin Feng climbed up 9 groups of steps, therefore he can benefit from all the advantages of the 9th group of steps. He can even move his palace there, explained Mu Chen. Suddenly, everybody had the urge to get to the highest level possible to benefit from the best advantages. Lin Feng could go there directly. Buddy, can I have some fun too? Said Yuan Fei laughing. Mu Chen looked at him, shook his head smiling and said, You're insane, buddy. Your grandfather gave you a great place to practice. It's a winner's kind of place. Even though our cultivation places aren't bad, they can't be compared with yours, but do as you wish. What winner are you talking about? If I don't leave my cultivation place, how can I become stronger? Said Yuan Fei, scratching and shaking his head as if he had thought of something unpleasant. You're wealthy, but you just don't know it. Many people could only dream of having your life. The great ape emperor wouldn't be so happy to hear that, said Mu Chen. Let's not talk about it. How come I see nothing after the 9th group of steps? Isn't it where you live? Said Yuan Fei, gazing into the distance. Your eyes are quite good, said Mu Chen, laughing indifferently. When people looked there, it was like an illusion. 10th group of steps is where the emperor's direct disciples practice cultivation and where the emperors live. If you manage to make it there, you'll become direct disciples. Mu Chen explained further. In a flash, people's hearts started pounding violently. If they managed to make it there, they'd become direct disciples. That was also where the emperors lived. You're tuning in to the Passion Pages YouTube channel. We're so grateful for your support, and don't forget to subscribe to join us on this incredible journey through captivating stories. Your generosity through donations truly makes a world of difference, as it's the primary source of revenue that allows me to expand and enhance this channel for you. Thank you from the bottom of my heart for being a part of this adventure.